Good evening, One players from all over the world, and welcome to a very special invitational matchup. One Play Sports is proud to bring you the first live post-circuit breaker sport from Singapore, and we hope over this next 7 nights you are going to stick with us and enjoy it all. It is the One Play Cuesports Singapore 9-ball invitational matchup. And as you'd expect, with all the precautions being taken, I'm going to do the right thing now and scan in as the lovely Lily, the sports development manager from Cuesports Singapore, assisted by temperature. Lily, tell me I'm okay?
Yes, perfect.
What was it?
6.4.
36.4. That will do. That's enough to let me in, so I will do the right thing and sign in here. Lily, many thanks for you and all your team's hard work in the build-up to this event. Lily is the tournament director here as well. Anthony Raj is our COO, and he is part of the team that have worked so hard and tirelessly to bring this matchup to reality. Anthony, how much does it mean to One Play Sports to be the ones bringing live sport back to Singapore?
Thanks, Patrick. I mean, One Play Sports is definitely delighted to be working with Cuesports as well as Sports SG to bring live sports back into the scenes after or during the hard times of COVID. Yeah. So we are extremely pleased. And it's tough, but you guys are doing a great job. Thanks, Patrick.
No worries, Anthony. Many thanks indeed. Anthony Raj, the One Play Sports COO. And as you can see, this is our huge office space in the heart of Singapore Sports Hub. But there aren't too many people around, and that's because we're operating this matchup with a skeleton-thin crew. There's one man who is with me, Singapore's number 4 pool player, Sharik Saeed. He'll be co-commentating with me and playing in the latter stages of the matchup. Over there, look at that for a top technical team. There's Hilmi and Nitin running the show from a technical point of view. And as I take you through into our incredible studio space where we've recorded so much great content for Sports Singapore over the last couple of months, we have made a very special venue indeed, because this is the One Play Sports Spectrum that will play host to the One Play Cuesports Singapore 9-ball invitational every night from tonight all the way through to our grand final on Sunday. And the man, along with Mr. Mohit Lalvani and Anthony Raj from One Play Sports that has made this happen, is the president of Cuesports Singapore, Christopher Chua. And Chris, I mean, we're all excited about this. It's a very, very special event, being able to bring live sport back to Singapore in these terrible COVID times.
Yes, indeed, and we are so grateful and privileged to be able to co-labor and to collaborate with One Play Sports in putting this invitational together. And I'm sure our athletes are all looking forward to it, and I hope the viewers will also have a smashing time watching our athletes in action after a 3-month break.
Yeah, I think smashing is going to be the operative word. You're going to be seeing some high voltage 9-ball action over the course of the next 7 days. And we're not just doing this for the sake of it, Chris. This is integral to the development of the sport in Singapore. We've got the top 8 ranked players, plus a great initiative from yourself and your team. We've got Jessica Tan, of course, a SEA Games medalist back in December. She qualifies as a wild card as the leading female. And Nicholas Tan, a youngster who's also getting an opportunity to make it through to the later stages. So much to play for these players this week.
Yes, indeed. This is part of Cuesports Singapore development strategy and plan to nurture the next generation of players and to give them an opportunity to develop and to hone their skills and abilities.
And safety measures being taken everywhere. The table and the balls will be sanitized after every match. The players won't be shaking hands. They won't be sharing equipment. So this is being run with safety in mind.
Indeed, indeed. We will certainly observe all the safety measures that are put in place and ensure that this is done properly in accordance with COVID-19 regulations.
Mr. President, many thanks indeed. Chris Chua, the president of Cuesports Singapore. So we're almost set for some great live action coming your way. It's been too long since we've been able to say on One Play Sports, get ready for live action. We can do that now as we take a look at our bracket for the One Play Cuesports Singapore 9-ball invitational matchup. So there's the draw that's going to guide us through the next 7 days of action. All roads lead to Sunday's grand final, which will be a race to 11 and the 1,000 Singapore dollar cash prize up for grabs of a total prize pool of 2,300 Singapore dollars. There you see our 2 matchups tonight. A little later on, we'll see the female wild card, Jessica Tan, the golden girl in action against Fraser Leow. But we start with our first matchup right now. So, over 4 months in the waiting, how appropriate on a public holiday to celebrate the 55th year of Singapore's illustrious independent history. One Play Sports, in association with Cuesports Singapore, is proud to bring you the return of live sport to the Lion City State. First off, let's welcome our referee for our first matchup. That man is Alex Lim. And now it's time to meet our players. Introducing first the 2003 SEA Games bronze medalist. He's the pirate, Shiver My Timbers. It's William Ang. And his opponent is the youngest man in the competition at just 18 years of age. He is Singapore's rising star. It's Nicholas Tan. So the stage is set here in the heart of the Singapore Sports Hub. We're getting ready for the lag now. Nicholas Tan on the right, William Ang on the left. Our first matchup in this pre-qualifier with the dubious honour of fighting it out for a right to take on Singapore's #1 man, Aloysius Yap, in tomorrow night's first quarter-final. Along, delighted to be joined by Singapore's #4 ranked player. He'll be taking on Steve Fong on Thursday in this competition. Sharik Saeed. And Sharik, quite a unique environment this, with all the precautions we've had to take, but wonderful that Cuesports is leading the way with the return of live sport to Singapore.
Definitely, I agree. I'm excited for today's match.
I think we all are. You can see that William won the lag in a race to 7. The breaks are all action here. It'll be fascinating to see who comes out on top. Plenty of cue power and plenty going down off that break, Sharid.
Right. Looks like he made the wing ball. And he has a shot on the first ball.
He's got a good spread to work with there early, hasn't he?
Oh, yes.
We'll be playing alternate break. It's not winner break here, so Nicholas will at least be guaranteed a shot first up in the next rack. But if we look at this break again, the balls went flying. I mean, he couldn't have hoped for much better than that for a start to this tournament.
Yep. He played a good break shot, controlled the cue ball in the middle, but unfortunately he doesn't have a direct shot in the one ball. So he's playing a push out.
So the push out is played. And of course now he can only see a fraction of that, but I don't think he can see full ball of that.
Right. I think Williams trying to make Nicholas go for the jump shot. And if he makes it, he has a shot on the next ball.
So Nicholas changing cues to get us off to a real flyer here. What's the percentage risk in a shot like this, Sharik?
It's a pretty low percentage shot, but
well,
let's see where the balls end up.
He's missed it, and I think there's a couple of options for William now. How much will nerves play a part for you guys? Obviously, you've been over 3 months now without a tournament. Is it inevitable that some players are going to react to this TV studio environment better than ever?
I think everyone's going to be affected by, the lighting and the live streaming. It's just how well they handle themselves. That's going to make the difference.
Well, the one ball is gone. He's got a great shot on the 2 that will give him the natural angle on the 3. And already this is looking like a rat chance for William.
Yes, and looking at his body language, he looks pretty comfortable.
We are playing with a shot clock that the referee will obviously enforce, but I don't think with what he has to face in these next 4 shots, he's going to be too troubled. It's all about the cue ball control from here.
Right. he's making quick work of this wreck. He's playing a follow shot off one cushion.
Oh, that only just went in. It certainly wiped its feet on the way through.
Yes.
And that was
The good thing right now is that the tables are playing a little slick, so even if you rattle the balls, they'll drop in, which plays to the advantage of these players.
and a relatively straightforward end after a slightly complicated start. He certainly got plenty of power off from the break-off shot, but didn't land where he wanted to, so had to go for the push-out. So Nicholas has had a chance here, but it's going to be William Ang who's going to come out on top, the number 8 seed in this competition, off to a decent start. And now, of course, we'll get to see what Nicholas is made of when he has the opportunity to break off in rack 2.
Yes. Jump shot had cost him the first rack, but he can make it up.
In that position, Sharik, would you have been putting William back in there, or do you think it was a decent enough opportunity where you had to take it?
I would have probably taken it as well, because if I had made the one ball, the position of the 2 was almost guaranteed. So there was nothing more to do other than make the ball. So I wouldn't really fault him for that.
Now, while we wait for the re-rack, run people through who aren't familiar with 9-ball, all that equipment that's to the right-hand side of William there, because we've obviously got extensions. We can't share equipment because of COVID-19, but he seems to have 3 or 4 different cues there.
Yes, one of them is the brick cue, which has a stiffer taper and a hard tip, so that there's no loss of power. And then the playing cue usually has a softer tip, so that they can move the cue ball around and with spin. And then there's, of course, the jump cue, which Nicholas used earlier for jump shots.
Well, he's 0 for 1 with the jump cue so far today, but plenty of pool still to be played. I think the 2's gone down off his first break, so now it's all about the shot he's given himself on the 1. He's shaping up here.
He's got a combination shot
to try and sink the 8, I think, after hitting the 1 first. Of course, in 9-ball, you have to hit the lowest numerical ball that's on the table, but you can pot anything off the back of that, including the 9. And he's played that well, maybe a tad closer to the cushion than he would have liked. It's going to limit his options from playing from 1 to 3 here.
He has to be careful with this shot here, because he's going to be using lots of power to get down to the other side of the table. Oh, looks like he chose to stay on that side.
Of course, the further between the cue ball and the object ball, the greater the margin of error.
I mistook the 4 ball for the 2 ball. But the next ball is the 3.
Simple enough. And what's the angle like for the shot on the 4? Seems like a confident young man, Nicholas. Obviously the rising star, as his nickname would suggest.
Yes.
What's he like in terms of temperament, in your experience, Sharik?
He actually holds his composure pretty well, except for in the World Juniors, where I think he went into the quarterfinals, and I think he broke down towards the end. It was a heel match, and he actually played extremely well. So I guess this is good practice for him to handle his the pressure better.
Now, he does, from our vantage point, we're obviously remotely away from the table, so we can't always get an accurate reflection. He looks quite straight on this, so he's going to have to do something with the cue ball.
Yeah.
He's going to get into the bottom of it and try and spin back by the looks of things. No, happy to stand still and play for the middle.
He wouldn't like to be too straight on the 6. If he isn't, he can just play a little bit of top spin and come off the side cushion for the 7. But it looks like he's pretty straight, and he's going to draw his cue ball back.
Look at the backspin on that, and off 2 cushions to give himself an angle here. Certainly not a gimme, but he's now just 2 balls away from levelling this up, and it's been a rapid fire start to this match if he manages to knock down these final 2 now.
Yes. There's a well executed shot on the 6 ball. Oh,
Well, it's gone wrong, and I'm not entirely sure it's safe. It's not an easy cut, this, for
that
William.
that might be the first sign of nerves in this match.
Yeah, the first real miss. I think the jump shot on the one in the first rack was a half chance. That was certainly a golden opportunity to level this up. And now can William make him pay against the serve, if you like, in 9-ball parlance, having broken off Nicholas now may well be facing a 2-0 deficit. All about the precision on this cut shot, and he's missed again. Well,
The tendency to overcut balls on brand new cloth is pretty high, because players tend to hit them a little faster, and that's what happened.
well, they're getting used to conditions. The players were given access at separate intervals to practice on the table, as each of the competitors will be allowed to do before the match. But as Sharik said, the TV lights, the cameras, and the pressure of the spotlight being on Cuesports as the first sport back in Singapore is immense. He's managed to get that one down, and he's had a lovely kiss on the 9 there to give him a gimme here. And we are going to go to the third rack all square, surely.
Looks like.
That will settle young Nicholas Tan's nerves. He needed a couple of goes at it, but he takes the second rack, and now we'll have to go to work off the William Ang break, which will follow in rack 3.
I think William's going to continue breaking the same way as it worked for him in the last rack.
Well, he was slightly unfortunate, wasn't he, with that break off? At first glance, it looked immaculate. But, of course, again, if you're new to 9-ball, that's what Sharik's here for, to educate us. You can hit them as hard as you like. You can sink as many as you like. But if you get the bad line, you're not on the next available ball. It could all go wrong, and that's why he chose to push out. And, again, while we wait for the balls to be re-racked, talk us through that push-out rule, because those more familiar with just playing Cuesports casually in their Cuesports club might not be familiar with it.
Right. So for the push-out rule, normally the push-out can only be played immediately after the break, and the player that the incoming player, if it's a dry break, has the option to push out if they don't have a good shot on the first ball.
And then, of course, the opponent has the opportunity to play from that shot or put his opponent back in.
Back in, yes.
So his second effort off the break, William Ang now comes back to the table to see what's what, and he'll see the one ball in an inviting position here. Can he get back up for a good shot on the blue? He can, and that cannon into the 3-ball helps him also.
So the next shot should be the 4.
The 4-ball. Looking very inviting, although these shots can sometimes catch you out, can't they, when they're so close to the pocket like that?
Yes. So I think he's shooting the 3 now. We probably we're looking at the 5 just now.
What's his position like here? Very nearly went too far there, but has got away with it.
Yes. The good thing about 9-ball, as long as you have angle, you can get around the table. When you tend to land too straight, you land into all sorts of trouble. So angle is very important in this game.
And he's given himself another angle here, and these final 3 balls after this one couldn't be better placed. He's got so much margin for error. He's done a lot with the cue ball off that and took maybe an unnecessary risk, but it's worked out nice enough, hasn't it?
Right. I didn't think he was looking for that, but it worked out.
Well, down it goes, and, well, I'm just looking at my watch. If these two go down as expected, we've had a quick-fire first 3 racks in this race to 7, and we're going to remain on serve as William Ang is going to convert his second rack off his own break, and no looking for Nicholas here. He's... Oh, my word!
Oh.
Well, there is me writing the obituary for Nicholas Tan in the third rack, and that is a shocking miss under any circumstances,
Yes.
Shuri.
You could see Williams' body moved when you're shooting the 9-ball, and that's definitely what caused the miss.
And he is furious with himself, and rightly so. I mean, what went wrong there? Was there a bad contact?
I didn't think that was a bad contact.
Just a bad shot.
Yes. He just got up a little too early on the shot.
Well, 18-year-old Nicholas Tan with a chance of a steal here, and
A
he's
great
done it in
bank
some
shot.
style with the double. And all of a sudden, William Ang, who's had chances to win all 3 racks, has only managed to win the first and trails 2-1, and that's going to give the 18-year-old a huge lift.
Yes, that was surprising. I didn't expect William to miss that shot. He looked comfortable and out of nowhere.
And that double there, well, in basketball parlance, it was nothing but net, straight down the middle of the pocket. And young Nicholas Tan, we could be starting our match-up invitational here
Yes.
with a shock. And would it be a shock? How much of a shock would it be in close Cuesports circles in Singapore if Nicholas Tan got the better of William Ang here?
It wouldn't be a huge surprise. Firstly, because it's a short race, and secondly, Nicholas is a pretty good shot maker. So if William makes 2 or 3 mistakes, it can cost him the match. So it's a good toss-up here.
So Nicholas Tan trying to convert that break of serve. How's his luck from the break? It's right into the cue ball there.
Both players seem to be controlling the cue ball pretty well. And the one ball's coming off 3 cushions and leaving them a shot.
Well, he's having a look here because the 2 and 3, I think it is, are very close to each other.
I think it's the 3 and 4 ball.
Yes, I must apologise. On our monitor here, as I've emphasised, we're commentating remotely. Sometimes the colour scheme, we were talking about this before the broadcast, weren't we, Sheree? Catch us out. I remember at the SEA Games in the Philippines when I was fortunate enough to commentate on the Lucius Yap's medal match. It was a similar scenario.
Right. You could see in the zoom in that was the 4 ball right next to the 3. And so now he has to plan how he can land on the 3.
So he's got the blue, and again, you must keep correcting me if I'm wrong here. The blue is the ball at the bottom cushion.
We both have to keep correcting each other.
I think so, mate, because these colours can be confusing. You were telling me earlier they've actually designed a new set of balls to try and make it slightly more television friendly, if you like, but they're not available in Singapore just yet.
Yes, I think they are available already, but we haven't got our hands on them yet. But we will be ordering them soon. They're called the Aramith Black balls.
Fabulous. Now, did he plan that?
Yes,
kiss on
he
the
did
black?
plan that.
He planned the kiss on the 8. Now his attention turns.
Because his angle was so thin on the 2 ball, the cue ball was probably going to go wild. So
He needed that to
cannoned
hold it
with
up.
the 8 to slow it down.
Well, he's got the 3, but of course the question is, he's going to have to come up and down, is he, to take the 4, or is that gap very inviting between the 7?
Right.
He's gone for a deft cut, and he has, well, has he undercut that or overcut it? Either way, he's missed it, and William Ang is going to be very, very grateful at the immediate opportunity to get back into this match and level it up.
Right. He overcut the shot, and I think it's because he played a little bit of right-hand spin. In these conditions where you're unfamiliar with how much the cue ball is deflecting, it's better to be as plain as possible and not involve any side spin.
He's taking his time in this one, William, and I'm certain if he gets as far as the 9, he'll be taking a lot of time over the 9 ball after what happened in the 3rd rack. Well, that's
a
immaculate,
great
isn't it?
bank
What a shot. So nonchalant as well. There's almost arrogance about it.
Yes, he looks comfortable.
Well, good to get one of those straight down the middle after the mishap with the 9 in the previous.
That shot should give him some confidence.
Gets the rest out for the first time, and A1 position on the cue ball. Of course, the 8's going to be the issue here. What do you play if you're William here? Where are you trying to land that cue ball off this?
I'll try to draw the cue ball back down to the side rail that's next to him. Just plain backspin. Just like that.
Has to be careful of the centre pocket, of course. But look at that on a
Good
sixpence.
control.
Now, assuming the 8 goes down. All eyes on this straightforward 9. It's almost identical, albeit in the opposite pocket to the one that caught him out so badly in the second rack. Lightning not striking twice this time, and William Ang levels it up at 2-all in this race to 7. So both men have now made fundamental errors, but they've also showed some glittering examples of their shot-making ability. So could be in for a treat here. Do you think this is going to go the distance?
I think this is. It's looking like it's going to be a close match. Both players seem a little more settled now. The bank shot was the one that won him the rack for William. I think it laid really nice into the corner pocket. William probably looking to break and run the next rack.
How's your luck?
Looks like he hit the balls a little bit soft this time because the one didn't travel all the way down to the right side rail.
I mean, when you're breaking off in 9-ball, you're always trying to motivate that one to fall in one of the centre pockets, aren't you? That's sort of the preferred.
Either we're trying to make the one ball or we're trying to send it down 3 cushions to either close to either one of the corner pockets. That way the continuity is much easier.
Now what does he play here? He's taking his time, and I think maybe looking at the angles off the rails to see where he can finish up the cue ball. It's far too thin a cut, surely.
I think he's trying to play a safety here. Use the 8 ball to stop the 1. Oh, okay. He went the other way.
Well, this might even drop, by the way.
And
My word, was he playing that?
I don't think he was playing that, but I think it was a two-way shot.
Well, he's fortunate if that's the case, because if he had have missed that, he didn't get the cue ball where he wanted.
He might have left a shot. See, if he missed the 1 ball, he could have left it behind the 2 ball and the 4, leaving Nicholas snookered. But it worked out in his favour.
Well, more by luck than judgment, but William Ang with a chance to seize the initiative back here, having leveled it up after Nicholas Tan capitalised on an early miss 9. Was that miss 9 in the second or third rack?
The second rack.
Second rack, wasn't it? Yes. It's fascinating, the idiosyncrasies all these players have. They all have their pre-shot rituals, don't they? And preference for how frequently they go to the chalk. I'm going to be analysing you on Thursday when you play in your quarterfinal against Steve Fong. Oh, my word.
He almost made the 9 on that shot.
And again, was he playing for that?
I think if he went into the 9 and if the 9 went in, it would be a bonus for him. But he just wanted to make sure that he has a shot on the 3 ball.
Of course.
The primary ball was the 2.
And a reminder for those new to 9-ball, you can pot the 9 at any stage as long as you hit your compulsory object ball first. It can go down in any combination if you like. He's not going to be able to pot the 9 off the 3 here. And is that a bad misjudgment on his part?
Looks like he was going for making the ball, but he missed it and he's left Nicholas a long shot.
So, young Nicholas Tan with a tester along the right-hand rail. We'll have to try and come back for the 4. If he can manage this, the rest of them are there for him. It's all about the position off this shot. And the position is not too bad at all. Not phasing in this youngster, only 18 years of age.
He has a good angle to drop onto the 5 ball. Playing a stunt shot off 1 cushion.
Bit of side on that as well by the looks of things. It's certainly motored. But these kinds of shots, it's quite difficult to control the cue ball. You've got to get the pace off this next one spot on, really, haven't you? Just to not give yourself any more headaches for the rest of the rack.
Yes. And it's important to focus on making the ball first. As long as you make the ball, you're still on the table.
5, 7, 8, and 9 remain. Oh, just make that 7, 8, and 9, but that, and again, wiped its feet on the way down.
Yes. The pockets are playing pretty generous for the players right now. But I don't think they'll play the same way for the next few matches.
Yeah, you're
as the
just
friction is going to wear on
you're
them.
just getting your excuses in early for Thursday, aren't
Oh,
you?
no, I'm not.
Cuesports players, I've worked with enough of them to know they're superstitious chaps, and it's always the cushions are soft, the cloth isn't running fast, or it's running too fast. I'm teasing you, buddy. It's great to have all of you here, all 10 players, obviously spread across the 7 days to observe the strict social distancing measures in place here in Singapore, but a great feeling on One Play Sports, along with Cuesports Singapore, to be able to bring you live sport back after what's been a very long 4 months of sport-starved action. Now, Nicholas Tan to seize the initiative again. Won't want to be doing too much with the cue ball here to risk an ambitious in-off. Just a thin cut should send it down, and it should send the 18-year-old back into the lead here, 3-2 up, and he does. So he's holding his own.
Great job by Nicholas, running out the table after William's mistake on the 3 ball. To be fair, that was a pretty tough shot for William. He was pretty straight in on the 3 ball.
But you've referred to it already, haven't you? The fact this is a short race to 7. The pressure goes on. Now, let's give a thanks to our great sponsors, Eden Resources, who very kindly sponsored the prize fund. Our friends at the Q Shop, who did such a magnificent job assembling or helping to assemble our set in terms of the Q Spot apparatus. Our friends at Andy Billiards Cloth as well. We're playing with top-class equipment here, as I'm sure Sharit will confirm in a minute. And a shout-out to our friends at 42. Those magnificent green chairs you see in the set, they were provided by 42, who've been working with us on our Singapore Premier League coverage and indeed our great programming that we've been bringing you in conjunction with Sports Singapore through Circuit Breaker and beyond. So great from our sponsors. And just to confirm again, for people not familiar, this is the same table they play the US Open on. So we're dealing with the very best players and the very best equipment here tonight.
Most definitely. This is actually the first diamond table that I have seen in Singapore.
It's great to be able to see it on One Play Sports
And
live on Monday night. Now, plenty of power. Spread, though, could have been better, could have been worse. Has he got a shot here?
Yes. Looks like he's straight in on the first ball. And this is a good opportunity for Nicholas to extend his lead.
Well, the 3 is gone, and the 1, as you can see, will go into the top right-hand corner pocket.
If I'm not mistaken, it's both of these players' first time playing on a diamond table.
That's fantastic to know. And again, it's, I'm sure, giving the players extra motivation. I know you've all been chomping at the bit to get back into competitive action. And safe to say, I can vouch for the fact that having seen the 2 players that we're watching today warm up on the table earlier, that people are taking this incredibly seriously.
Oh, yes.
A reminder, we'll be seeing the Golden Girl, Jessica Tan, in action a little later on. Oh, he's missed the 2. Would you believe it?
Looks like he got a little quick on that shot.
He's been fortunate to an extent in that he's not left a gimme, but we've seen some excellent doubles struck already. But the very best 9-ball players are obviously not worried about the pot. They're worried about the next shot most of the time. And that's going to be the case here as well.
Yeah. I can see that Nicholas didn't go through his pre-shot routine on that ball, on the 2 ball.
Is it muscle memory when you're playing this game? You have your ritual and it just steadies your mind, eases your nerves.
Yes, muscle memory plays a big part in pool. That's why the name of the game is practice. You just have to practice almost all the time to make sure you're in tune.
Now, the double here is straightforward. The position to find himself on the 4, less so. This is going to take some shot to give him an easy break on the 4 next. And I think he's opted against it. Or did he go for that double? That's a strange shot he's played there, is it not?
I think he went for a full safety. He wasn't playing a 2-way shot because he wouldn't have played it at that speed.
Was he caught in 2 minds there almost?
Most likely. This is one of the things that affects the player when they're in 2 minds. They don't deliver the shot as they intended.
Great to see so many of you watching on the One Play Sports Facebook page. Do remember to like, share, follow and comment. Lovely
Beautiful shot by Nicholas.
ball down the middle. Needs that cue ball to steady up though. Has it halted just in time?
Oh, looks like he's snookered on the 4-ball, and he's going airborne again.
Well, the first jump shot attempt was a disaster. Second one is an
Great
absolute
shot.
beauty. Shot of the day so far goes to the youngster Nicholas Tan.
He's
Well-
made some good shots thus far.
Well, that will certainly as well please him after the botched jump shot in the first rack. And again, an opportunity to become the first player in this match to open up a 2-rack lead, which will put William under no shortage of pressure in this alternate break format.
That jump shot should have definitely boosted his confidence.
Now, where's he at with this pea green? It's a pea green, isn't it? The
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 sixth ball.
sixth ball.
Yes.
It's a marvellous shade of green.
He's just going to go back and forth for the 7-ball. Great shot.
After 2 cushions, and gives himself a nice shot on 7. So 7, 8, 9.
He might be hampered a little bit by the 8-ball, but he seems to have enough space to bridge comfortably over the 8.
And he's got the natural angle, hasn't he, to come back across the table for an angle on the 8, which should give him enough leeway to get back down for the 9.
Nicholas is naturally a good shot maker, and he seems to be performing his normal game. Overran on position for the 9. This is no gimme.
And he has to be careful with the cue
Very
ball if he's
visible.
going to try and cut this back into the left corner pocket, because that cue ball natural angle would take it dangerously close to the middle. So pressure on this for a 2-rack lead. And the cue ball, he keeps an eye on it and can see it safely staying up on the table. And Nicholas Tan leads by 2. William Ang under a bit of pressure here.
Well played by Nicholas. He made a great shot on the 2-ball, which William left him long on. And then he made a jump shot and then capitalized on William's mistake.
Well, they've both made mistakes, but you have to say at this stage, it's been Williams that have been more costly. Here we are at the fantastic One Play Sports and Cuesports Singapore Invitational matchup for 2020. Starting tonight, of course, all the way through. Every night this week, we're an 8 p.m. Singapore time. That's GMT plus 8 start tonight. We've still got another game to come after this, by the way. Jessica Tan, the Golden Girl, up against Fraser Leow. And then Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays will bring us the 4 quarter-final matches. You'll be able to see Sharik Saeed in action on Thursday against Steve Fong. Liao Shishat, by the way, the #1 player in Singapore and an absolute sensation. He'll be playing the winner of this one in his quarter-final tomorrow night. And then we have our 2 semi-finals with an 8 p.m. start on Saturday and our race to 11 final with a 9 p.m. start on Sunday. And again, speaking about that quarter-final match that awaits the winner of this matchup against Aleutius tomorrow, does it give these guys an advantage that they'll be playing back-to-back and have had match experience on this table when they try and topple the great one, Aleutius Yap?
Yes, they would have a slight advantage over him, but Aloysius is a very seasoned player, and he's played on conditions like this pretty frequently, so it won't take him long to get settled into these conditions. It's going to be a tough match no matter what.
So the 8 ball down from the break. The 2, I think there's enough space for it to squeeze past into that bottom left-hand corner pocket. Slightly maybe hampered by the 3 and the 5 being quite close together. And that
Might
9
have
ball,
to
that
play a
wasn't what he
safe-
was intending, was it? He's very close to the cushion here. This is going to be tricky.
I'm not sure if the 3-ball banks into the side pocket, but if it doesn't, he can play a safety shot. Try to hide the cue ball. It's a tricky situation.
he's played safe there, and it was the right percentage shot, wasn't it? Because there was a very big margin of error. He needed that.
Yes. Nicholas might be. Oh, he's jumping at this again.
Well, he's played two, won one, lost one on the jump shot so far, and it looks like we're going to see if he can make it 2-1 in the success rate stakes. Because problem here, of course, is the pot's very ambitious. You don't know where the cue ball is going to end up. So this is a big moment in this match here for Nicholas Tan, leading by 2 racks. Goodness gracious me, what a shot that is. Has he been fortunate with the cue ball? He has. And how's his luck on the 4?
He's jumping these balls in really well.
My word.
That was a very difficult jump shot.
He's missed the easy jump shot and made the two toughies.
Difficult ones, yes.
Look at that. Well, that replaces his previous shot of the day. Ooh, he didn't want that flick off the 6, and having made a brilliant jump shot, he's almost thrown it all away in the very next second.
Yes.
So, reprieve from William Ang. 5 very important shots on the way in the context of this race to 7. And this is the kind of opportunity he simply has to convert now.
Yes, I think that mistake was just a lack of experience for Nicholas. He could have taken just a little more time and made sure that he didn't get contact with the 6 ball. But now it's going to cost him this rack after a great jump shot.
Just to let everyone know as well, if you're watching in Indonesia, we do have an Indonesian Bahasa commentary team as well. You'll be able to find them on the One Play Sports Indonesia page if you want to listen to the commentary in Bahasa. Can't believe anyone wouldn't want to listen to us, Sharik, but in case they prefer Bahasa Indonesia,
I agree with you.
They can find that on the One Play Sports Indonesia page. Do give the page a like, share, follow and comment, and leave your comments in the comment section. If you want to shout out during the broadcast, if you drop your name and a message you'd like to send out in the comment section on Facebook, we will do that for you as you're watching the 7th rack of this race to 7, about to go the way of William Ang, who reduces the deficit against Nicholas Tan to just 1. And Nicholas Tan will be kicking himself because really he should have opened up a 3-rack lead there and didn't get it done.
William came close to his work on the 9 ball there. He clipped it with the cue ball, but landed good.
Singapore's number 4 ranked player Sharik Saeed alongside me in the commentary box for this day 1 of the One Play Sports Cuesports Singapore Matchup Invitational 2020. It's not the most catchiest of titles, but obviously we were under very strict guidelines, as we have been, and rightly so, with both the tournament organisation and how we market this tournament. There's the prize fund, 2,300 Singapore dollars. I bet you'd like to be getting in that check for $1,000 on Sunday, Sharik.
Definitely. Quarterfinals
and these wildcard matches, which are today. The quarterfinals start tomorrow through Friday, a race to 7. The 2 semi-finals on Saturday, races to 9. And the final matchup, a race to 11 on Sunday, where Sharik will be hoping he's sitting not here, but over there, about 50 yards away from us where the action is taking place. Now, Howie off the break, all eyes on the 1 and the cue ball, which are going to finish up quite close together. And he's going to have a shot down the rail here.
The cue ball got knocked, but it got knocked to a good position. He's got a nice angle to drop onto the 2 ball.
Yeah, that's the 3 over the centre pocket, isn't it?
Yes.
And you could almost knock that down as collateral damage. And again, if he was to pot the 1 here and the 3 was to go down independently, it wouldn't be a foul stroke, would it? You can pot any colour you like as long as you hit the intended lowest value ball on the table first.
So as long as you hit the lowest numbered ball on the table first, it's not a foul. The ball's lay in good position for Nicholas to extend his lead to 2 racks.
Well, he's got a nice angle here because the 3's literally, you could, I think we're 50 yards away, we could probably blow it in from here.
Yes.
But he's going to try and obviously go up and down now, I assume, or play it short. What's he going to do? Ooh, right on the cushion, tight on. He's developed a little angle for himself here as well, hasn't he?
Yes.
Very slight, but slight enough.
I think he's going to draw the cue ball back a couple of inches and get closer to the 5.
If if you're watching on Facebook, drop us a comment in the comment section. We'll give you a shout out on the broadcast, Sharik and myself. You got friends and family watching tonight, listening to your commentary work, Sharik?
Yes, I think some of my friends are watching the matches. So, hi to everyone there.
How wonderful it is to have live sport back during these incredibly tough COVID times for everyone, and lovely to be able to do it on the National Day holiday as well this Monday the 10th of August after the incredible celebrations. What great improvisation from Singapore to celebrate the 55th anniversary of its independence yesterday, with various marches and parades through the districts and social distancing observed impeccably. Our friends at Sports Singapore creating some great National Day programming as well that we were delighted to be part of the production of. Now this is the colour that keeps catching me out. Oh my word, it catches me out, and it's caught Nicholas Tan out as well. Now to a certain extent he's been very fortunate with that 7. And is it just me being colourblind, or is that 7 a completely different colour to the 7 on the colour ball indicator? Am I
yes, it's
colourblind? It is a completely different colour.
colour.
That's what's throwing me, so apologies for that, folks. But I
The
think
7's turquoise, and on our screen it's showing
it's
brown.
almost like a burnt brown, isn't it?
Yes.
Burnt orange. Well, Nicholas Tan, he wants to burn that ball because that's a big miss. He's been fortunate to an extent. This is not an easy shot for William Ang. But Nicholas Tan's had opportunities here to be 6-2 in front.
Yes.
It's tight on the cushion, this 7. This is a very unpleasant shot. I mean, what do you think of here? You're going to try and be flash and come off 2 cushions? Very difficult to be certain to leave this safe. You're almost going to have to go for it all here, aren't you?
Oh, he's trying to kick the ball.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't fault him for that because there's not much he can do there.
Oh,
That
well,
was good contact.
I think you're right, Sharik. I think that was his best option, really. Playing safe would have been a futile exercise with the ball being so tight on the cushion, but he's just handed the initiative back to Nicholas Tan, who for the 3rd time has got what should be a frame or a rack-winning reprieve.
With so few balls on the table, it's pretty difficult for William to play a safety as well.
So a shout out to Yvonne Lim, who's watching, and Ho King Lee as well. Great to have you with us, guys. If you want your name shouted out, just give us a mention on the comment section. Great to see so many people watching live sport back in Singapore as the 8 goes down with a minimum of fuss. Now we've seen easier 9 balls than this missed already tonight. William Ang missed an absolute sitter in the 2nd rack, but this to take Nicholas Tan to within 2 racks of a meeting with Aleutius Yap in the quarterfinals tomorrow. And down it goes. Well, Nicholas Tan here, he comes in as the wild card. William Ang, the seeded player, of course, but as Sharik's already said, it wouldn't be the biggest shock, and a timeout. No surprise to see that William Ang calls for time because he's almost getting to the point of no return.
The match is not over yet. I mean, it's 5-3, but William can definitely get back into the match. He's one player that never gives up, so I wouldn't be surprised if he takes it from here.
Well, they'll both now leave the auditorium. They're allowed a maximum of 7 minutes as the stopwatch is on. Now, talk us through the routine here for these players during this 7 minutes. We obviously have bathrooms available, a different bathroom from each player as well to observe social distancing. What do you tend to do when you take your 7 minutes? And do you agree with William Ang calling the timeout there?
Yes, I do agree with William Ang calling the timeout because I'm sure he's a little frustrated that Nicholas missed that ball and didn't leave him an easy opportunity. And despite missing the shot, he won the game. So he's probably going out to clear his mind. And he's going to refocus and come back into the match.
Well, William's got his fan club on Facebook. Benedict Coe saying, "Come on, La, William." My English not very good, apologies. It should be, "Come on, La." Come on, La, William. Barry
on, La.
E. also cheering on William. Where are the Nicholas Tan fans on Facebook? Drop a comment. Another mention and a shout out to our sponsors, Eden Resources, who very generously put up our prize fund. Of course, Cuesports Singapore. Been fantastic working with Chris Stewart and Lily. Chris Stewart in particular as president. And you couldn't find a man more passionate about Cuesports, and he's been an absolute pleasure to deal with. A credit to the whole sport community of Singapore. Andy Billiard Cloth, the Q Shop, who've done a great job. As Sharik's already said, it's the first chance for many of these players to play on the diamond table that is the table used in many of the best events all over the world. And a special shout out to our friends at 42 as well. We found some Nicholas Tan fans on the Facebook comment section. Shermi Nong, let's go Nick. April Yap, go Nick. And come on the young gun, says Julius.
I was pretty sure they'd be watching. Nicholas has a huge, he has a lot of friends. So I'm sure they're all watching.
Well, the way he plays pool, it's no surprise he's a popular character. Reminder, this is day 1 of 7. We're here all the way through till Sunday. Every night, live Cuesports coming your way on One Play Sports. We had an 8 p.m. start time tonight for our 2 wildcard pre-quarterfinals. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are our 4 quarterfinal matchups. Then semis on Saturday with also an earlier start time of 8 p.m. Singapore time. That's GMT +8. And then our best of 11 rack final at 9 p.m. on Sunday. And your match, very quickly, talk about your match on Thursday against Steve Fong. Will you start favourite in that?
I would say maybe I'm the slight favourite, I guess.
You beat him recently. We were speaking in the studio to promote this last week, and you told me you beat him recently.
Yes, we actually played at the national championships, and that's where I beat him in the quarterfinals. But Steve Fong's a really good and consistent player, so I'm expecting a strong fight from him.
20 years ago, says Benedict Coe, we were rooting for Williams against Steve Davis during the Wales World Championship. I'm assuming he means Mark Williams. I know Mark Williams has got a match up against Ronnie O'Sullivan coming up at the World Snooker Championships. We were delighted to have Sean Murphy, the former World Snooker Champion, join us in the studio on the Wall of Fame at One Play Sports in the build-up to the World Championship. It wasn't a pleasant experience for Sean, unfortunately, the Worlds. He's retreated back to Dublin to regroup. And a reminder, as we've already said, but it's worth noting, dual language commentary available here. If you want to listen to the Indonesia Bahasa commentary, you can do so by visiting the One Play Sports Indonesia page. Like, share, follow and comment wherever you go. And as I said, I'll be rooting through these comments on the comment section. Keep them clean. It's a family show, Sharik, after all. But we'll be giving everyone a mention who is kind enough to get in touch. April Yap is here, Desmond Ng as well. We've got Justin Jingju, Crystal Chu as well. A whole community being born on the One Play Sports Facebook page in terms of Cuesports. Great to have you all with us, folks.
Yes, as Benedict has corrected us, it was William Ang versus Steve Davis in the World Pool Championships.
Oh, apologies. William, I thought he was referring to a World Championship final between Mark Williams and Steve Davis. And that's what threw me. I thought he was talking
it was William
snooker.
Ang versus Steve
Thank
Davis
you,
at the
Benedict.
World Pool
Sorry,
Championships.
quite right. You were talking about the main Williams here. Never mind Mark Williams. We've got the William Ang, who has got to come from 5-3 down against Nicholas Tan, who is back in the arena. I'm enjoying talking to you so much. The 7 minutes has flown by, Sharik.
Totally. The Pirate breaking the 9th game.
So the Pirate, shiver me timbers. He's not playing like Johnny Depp at the moment, though.
He's in a bit of a mess,
not
but
Jack
I
Sparrow.
think he can come out of it.
More like a Jack in the Box at the moment. But
the reason they call him the Pirate is because he steals racks
I
from
see.
nowhere.
Well, he's going to have to steal at least 4 more from nowhere. And my technical director, Sam, sensationally brought us a fresh set of balls to avoid us being thrown. Like, I hope you're not being thrown at home with the colours not quite representing. And this was an issue, by the way, at the SEA Games as well. It happened at the SEA Games. I think the computer graphics, something's lost in translation with the colours of the ball. So luckily I've got Sharik next to me to hold my hand. Not literally. We're not allowed to hold a hand, Sharik. Not that we would anyway, but with COVID-19 we can't.
I'm slightly colour deficient, so I'm glad I'm
You can't be colourblind. You're the number 4 ranked 9-ball player in Singapore.
Well, sometimes when I get when I'm not sure of the colours, I actually have to walk around the table and look at the numbers, and then I take my shot. And I've certainly played the wrong shot in tournaments before, so I'm going to be careful.
Now, has he played? What's he played there, Sharik?
He played a push out.
Yeah, the 2 ball is upright, so he played the push out.
Yes.
And is obviously almost dared Nicholas to take this double on, I'm assuming, which would be wildly ambitious. But Nicholas has shown he's prepared to go for his shots here. It's worked for him so far as he's established that 5 rack to 3 lead. This is a big one, though.
Yes, looked like he was going for the safety shot.
Well, he's very nearly fluked it into the centre. He's got away with it, and that is a fine shot at the end of the day, isn't it? He's snookered him
Behind the 7 ball. That's a good shot. He controlled the cue ball pretty well there, despite not being familiar with how the table plays.
Biv is saying, Sharik Saeed, good luck, bro. Go and get them.
Well, thank you.
Ho Kingley has given us permission to hold hands. We shan't be doing that, Ho Kingley. It's we are separated by 3 meters. We've sanitised thoroughly. I hope you scanned into the building when you got here, Sharik?
Yes, I did.
Right, first time to see William in jump shot action. And again, I think he's been slightly fortunate there.
He's left Nicholas a slightly tricky shot. He's got to control the speed on this one.
Well, the 2 is proving troublesome for both of them, but whoever gets the first opportunity here, if the other 6 balls stay in their same spot, they're going to have a golden chance to pinch this rack.
This is a big rack for Nicholas.
Certainly
because
is,
if he wins
because
this game, he's going to be on the hill. And he's going to put a lot of pressure on William.
he needs that to bounce. I'm not entirely sure. Has it gone far enough? He's having a look, William Ang. Don't think he can get past the 9 ball to cut this in, or can he? He's having a real look. It's tight, this.
He might be kicking at this one because the object ball's so close to the end rail. He could actually, if he jumps the ball, he could fly off the table. So this is the smart option.
He's playing this with side. He needs that one to hold up now.
It's left Nicholas a shot. It's
What a
very
great
important.
team we've got here at One Play Sports, by the way. One of our top men, Mike, is already on the case with the graphic issue on the colours and the balls. That's how professional we are. Because obviously it was a template provided to us. Mike, as we speak, is beavering away to get that.
Yes, this
Now
is a
the
great
7,
arena.
officially what colour would you call that 7 there, Sharik?
Turquoise, I would say.
Turquoise. We're going with turquoise, but it's obviously reflected by a burnt orange on the graphic, but it's a turquoise ball there, which is currently top of the table, right next to the cue ball, right?
Yeah.
But that's not the one that Nicholas is focusing on now. He's got that 4. He's got slightly hampered
Queuing.
queuing and bridging, but not to be able to just slide in behind the turquoise 7. He's straight enough here. Left himself a really nice angle on the 5. This is unmissable now. I'm just trying to see where his problem's going to come here, and I can't see one. If he holds his nerve,
Yeah.
he's going to be 3 in front with only 1 more needed.
He just needs to stay composed and take 1 ball at a time. I'm sure William's already feeling the pressure, but he's used to handling it well. With William, you never know.
Well, and it will be some comeback. And of course, I suppose the one chance he has is it is alternate break here. It's not winner break format, so that gives him some hope.
It would still be a surprise if Nicholas wins, because William's the seed 8 and Nicholas is a wild card. So from that point of view, it would be a surprise.
Now here's the turquoise 7, not burnt orange but turquoise. Going to try and cut this into that top right hand corner pocket, and he's missed it. My word, was that him taking his eye off the ball? It wasn't a gimme, but it's the kind of shot he should really make. He's made trickier shots than that so far tonight.
Yes, I did not expect him to miss that. This is what I mean by holding your composure. He had a great opportunity, but I'm not sure if he held his composure that well.
Now he's quite straight on this 8, I believe. So if he's straight, he's going to have to get a lot done with the cue ball here to come back.
It's important to just be still on this shot.
And you can see the cue ball coming back across the table. And this should reduce the arrears now to just 1.
Just roll this ball in nicely, making the pocket a little bigger.
Down it goes. Well, William Ang should really be staring down the barrel of a last chance saloon. As it is, he's won a reprieve, and this is very much still game 1 and a race to 7. The 18-year-old young gun, Nicholas Tan, leads William Ang by 5-4.
That's a big swing there because it could have been 6-3 and now it's 5-4.
Good to see Nicholas drinking out of the one-play mug. I was appalled to see him drinking out of a fast food beverage container earlier. I should be having strong words with him about that. That's not the way we conduct ourselves here at One Play Sports. There's another look at that 9-ball after the poor effort on the 7 from Nicholas. Well, the only good news for Nicholas is he's now got the break in the 10th rack, so he really now can make amends for that straight away. If he was to lose this rack, the advantage is very much going to be back with William, because he'd be tying it up with the break to come.
Yeah.
Now, what's going down here in the 10th?
Wing ball is down. Has a shot on the 1.
So the 6 goes.
Oh, that's a great break.
Yeah, they're all over the place, aren't they? And the 1 is straightforward. The transition to 1 to 2 is going to be interesting.
I've noticed that Nicholas' missed shots have mainly been because he ended up shooting the ball a bit too quickly. He just didn't take his time on the shot.
Well, nerves are going to kick in here. It's a, it's a big tournament. Oh my word, the 1 only very nearly stayed up.
Oh,
It's a big tournament here. Prize money up for grabs. The first chance for you guys to compete for several months, and obviously with the pressure of the unique environment of a television studio and live broadcast all over the world on One Play Sports.
Yes.
The 9.
Nicholas
Look
has
at
ended
that.
it early.
Well, the 9 goes down. Great work from Nicholas Tan, and just like that, he's got to within 1. 9 goes down early doors. The rack is 1, and that has made up for that glaring miss on the 7 in the previous.
Yes, he's up 6-4 now. 1 game away from winning. Nicholas played the 2-9 combination with a good choice of speed, because he left the cue ball down on the end rail. So even if he missed the shot, he would have left William tough.
Well, he's playing percentages, isn't he? And, at this level, you guys are the best of the best. It is a game of percentages as much as anything else.
Most definitely. There you can see that shot where the cue ball ends up at the bottom rail.
So he knew if he was going to miss it, he wasn't letting William in with a
Easy
straightforward clearance. So, number 8 seed, William Ang. Is it going to be Aleutius Yap against Nicholas Tan in the quarterfinals tomorrow? Looking increasingly like that might be the case. And of course, Nicholas Tan will go into that one if he was to finish this off full of confidence, with nothing to lose against the undisputed number 1 of Singapore 9-ball. Right, William Ang, we're writing him off maybe prematurely, because he's managed to sink one off the break in the 11th rack. And now it's sort of a question about why he finds himself on the 1.
All William can do now is take all these opportunities. And hope Nicholas makes mistakes.
Well, straight off, there's problems here for him, isn't there? The 4 is going to be very difficult, even if he can get that far. The transition from 1 to 2, workable. But that 4, which is hanging round with the 6,
Yes.
could prove troublesome. Very straight on this as well, so this is going to involve some top spin, isn't it? And go around some cushions. That's indeed what he plays. Now, he needs to get in behind that 5, and that, not a disaster, but the 4's the one he's looking at already, isn't it?
Yes. I think if he stays close to the center of the table, he'll have an opportunity to cut the 2 in, cut the 4 ball in. All he has to make sure is that he's not snookered on the 4 ball, and he can either play a safety or make the 4.
Got a lovely message from Crispy and Ung saying, great job, guys. Keep it up and good luck. Thank you, Christian. That's very kind of you. Alexander Lim is with us. Kudos to all involved in putting this together. Hope to have more of these events going forward, Alexander. We hope so too.
Crispin's actually one of my friends watching in from the US.
Oh,
So I have a
fantastic.
couple of friends from the US that might be tuning in.
Well, welcome to all our friends over there in the US of A. Of course, the spiritual home of 9-ball, Paul, is the States. As we turn our attention back to Nicholas, and this moment of the 4 ball has been arriving at pace, and it's arriving as Nicholas Tan's problem, with William Ang unable to make things happen. Is he going to try and play this 4 into the pocket off the 6. That looks to be the shot, doesn't
I'm
it?
not sure if it's available, but that would be a good shot.
He's looking at it, isn't he? Just to deflect it in off the 6. And again, we've seen some easy ones missed and some great ones sunk, but is it an exaggeration to say this could be match ball here?
Yes. The 6 seems to be pretty high up on the pocket, which might make the 4.
If this misses, he's going to leave it open surely for William Ang to steal. And it has missed.
Yes.
And how's his luck? Not that lucky at all. This will cut back into that right centre pocket.
Like I said, I think the 6 was pretty high up, and that shot was not really available.
Well, Nicholas Tan has just seen a golden opportunity go. I think under the circumstances, difficult to say he was wrong to go for it, but nevertheless, it's easy us talking about it, even you as a top player. I mean, it's disgraceful me talking about it, really, but it's easy even you talking about it here.
Yes, the pressure can definitely affect your judgment. So I've experienced it quite a lot of times.
So the 6 with the burnt orange / lilac 7 is finished at a very strange angle on this, by the way. And that's not where he intended the cue ball to finish up.
Seems to have hit it a little too hard, but just has to control the speed on this one and make sure he makes the 7. There's not much to worry about position because there's only 2 balls on the table. Rolling it would be a good option, just coming off 2 cushions.
Good recovery. And how's the bounce?
He chose to draw it.
Well, it's a decent recovery shot, but he wanted more movement with the cue ball. He's left himself another tester here. William Ang is in last chance saloon territory. The pressure on this shot is immense. He misses it. He's almost certain to gift Nicholas Tan the match. This has to go to extend us to a 12th rack. Alexander Lim asks, are they playing with a shot clock? Yes, they are. The referee in control of the shot clock, and obviously Sharik will monitor that as well. Big shot this for William Ang to keep the match alive.
Big shot.
And he does, and the cue ball stays up in the second phase as well. So Nicholas Tan fails to convert a chance, a match point, if you like, with that tricky shot on a 4.
That was definitely a nervy shot on the 9. It was an ideal position, but it was makeable. And he has a fighting chance now.
Well, there's the 2 visuals of the players. Obviously the mask, it's a bit like playing poker and not being able to see the poker face, isn't it? William Ang's mask, he dropped his guard momentarily there. Nicholas looks calm enough. This is the 9 ball that sends us
right after the delivery
to a 12.
He had a slight movement. He was twitching just to make sure he made the ball.
Just willing it in. It's almost like a golfer wanting to see a putt drop on the 18th to win the British Open here. He's got the ball in his hand. He'll break off in the 12th.
He has the opportunity to end the match here.
He can, if it's in his own hands really here. Of course, the irony is, if he doesn't convert this rack, it's going to be in the hands of William Ang in the decider. Let's see where his break's going. All eyes on the 1. 1 could be in trouble with the 9 there. Oh, my word. Again, it's going to be fine margins here.
So looks like...
Is the referee called a foul off the break there?
It's not a foul, but it's the 3-point rule. So off the break, at least 3 balls have to hit the cross
cushion.
the head string. Or you can make 2 balls and at least 1 has to cross, and so on. So Nicholas made 1 ball, but only 1 other ball passed the head string. So that was an illegal break.
Where's this cue ball going? Where's this cue ball going? My word. Well, William Ang, you could see what his intention was there, was to try and tie him up tight against the bottom rail. But instead, having benefited from Nicholas Tan fouling off the break, he's given Nicholas ball in hand straight in reply. And now surely Nicholas Tan has to start converting these opportunities.
Yes. I think William was trying to play the safety there, but this is where it affects the players, because with brand new cloth, the angles tend to open up a little. And I'm sure he was expecting to hit either one of the rails.
Aaron Coase, is this the table a bit skiddy?
Yes, the table is very skiddy since this is new cloth and very clean balls. So that is also the reason why actually William scratched on that shot. Because if the tables weren't skiddy, he would have hit the side rail and left Nicholas snookered.
So Nicholas Tan has now a second chance in this 12th rack to close it out, having fouled off the break.
Seems like he landed a bit short.
It's
on
a very
position
thin
for
cut,
one.
this. He might be able to develop the 5 off of it, though, and the 5 is, after this one, the one that looks trickiest.
So we're going to bank the 3 ball.
That's gone badly wrong, hasn't it?
He's left William. You don't want to leave William chances to get back in.
And that's exactly what he's done. Now, it's not a straightforward opportunity at this stage, and William's thinking about it. I think this is the longest I've seen William take over a shot in this match so far.
Nicholas has gotten fortunate with the miss there. He's not left William an open, easy opportunity.
Just to clarify on that shot clock, 35 seconds, is it?
It's 45 seconds.
45 seconds.
Yes.
Our referee, Alex Lim, will be monitoring that. Oh,
Great shot by William. But is he going to give up a shot?
well,
Well
I think
controlled.
it's just he played it that way as a shot to nothing, I suppose, and it's worked out okay. There'll be no jumping over this for Nicholas Tan. You'd have to be a circus act to get that ball over the 9 to make contact with the 3.
Yes.
So
He
this is
definitely
going
has
to be
to
an
keep-
up and down, and just close your eyes and hope for the best, I think, to a certain extent. I'm assuming he's going to be trying to get the 3 tight on the bottom rail and maybe
Yeah, I was
keep that
wondering,
cue ball up near where the 9 is.
in kicking balls, the important thing is the speed that you kick at. If you hit it with a good speed, you might get a good separation.
He hit the 9 first there. It was out of our vision, but the 9 was hit first, so it's going to be ball in hand. Just caught a glimpse of that 9 moving before the 3 ball. And Nicholas Tan, how many more chances does he want?
I think Nicholas could have definitely hit that shot with a little bit more speed as well. Because kicking it at that soft speed, he wouldn't have got much of a separation. This is where that experience comes into play.
Well, by the way, just an update here. I mean, this game is very dramatic. What about our technical team? I'm told that the fantastic Michael Chua has managed to update the colours already. So maybe for our second match, we will be able to get the magic turquoise 7.
That's awesome.
That's breaking news. How good at One Play Sports. Marvellous. You're listening to Sharik Saeed alongside myself, commentating on the day 1 of 7 of the One Play Cuesports Singapore 9-ball invitational matchup for 2020. The first live sport in Singapore for over 4 months. Great to have you with us live on the One Play Sports Facebook page. Give us a message. Let us know you're here. Lim Hong, Nicholas with multiple exclamation marks. I think that's out of frustration that Lim Hong has messaged that. Here is the 7. And William Ang, who's been staring an early exit in this competition down the barrel in the last 3 racks consecutively, now all of a sudden has a chance to take it to a decider where he will be breaking off.
He's looking to make it hill. Just needs to hold his nerves.
And now, of course, you've got to feel dreadful if you're Nicholas Tan. You've got to try and get it out your system.
Yes, I can see Nicholas wiping his hands with the towel in the background. Looks like the pressure is on.
Now, a little delicate cut into the centre, right centre pocket, and we're going to go the distance here, folks. We are all tied at 6 each in a race to 7. William Ang or Nicholas Tan battling it out in a 1-rack shootout now to have the right to play Alyosha Yap in tomorrow's
Yeah.
first quarter final. Be like Back to the Future, that wouldn't it? Be like Marty McFly.
Well, Patrick, I think I guessed it right. We're at hill. It's as
You
close
did say,
as it
mate.
could be.
You said we could go the distance here, and it didn't look very likely at numerous times in this match, but we are going to the decider. And now, of course, when you go back to the lag, which seems a long time ago now, was nearly an hour ago,
Yes.
it was all important, wasn't it? Because the lag is determining not just who broke first, it's determining who breaks last, and it will be William Ang with the chance
That
to not
kick
allow
shot-
Nicholas another shot.
That kick shot by Nicholas could have been the last shot that he might have played in this matchup. So he has to hope
So-
that William.
Let me ask people watching on Facebook, who do you think is going to win this? Give us your vote Is it going to be William or Nicholas? Let us know on the Facebook comments page who you think is going to take this final rack, as William Ang has a chance to keep Nicholas Tan sat in his chair. Or don't look like the look of where the one's finishing up here for him, though. He can't see enough of that to cut it, surely. 9 balls in his way. And if he can't, I suppose he has got the option of trying to get that
Looks
cue
like
ball
he's going
tight
to
on the
play
blue.
safe. He has to think of a good safety here. It's a critical situation. He'll.
Next mistake could mean an exit. And the one-play Cuesports Singapore 9-ball invitational matchup. And William Ang again. The longer this game's gone on, the longer he's taken his time over the shots. And as Sharik quite rightly says, this could be crucial. Crispin going for William. Benedict's going for William. Michael's going for William. Shane's going for William. They're all going for William. He's got to play a good shot here first.
Well, I'm not surprised since William's the more experienced player here.
But at times, you wouldn't have known it in this
what
one.
a great shot right there.
Look at that.
You could
Tight
have
up
put
against
the
that
cue ball
too.
better with the ball in hand. This is where his experience has come to help him in crucial situations like this.
Not just the cue ball, it's where the one ball has finished up as well, tight on that rail, which means even if he does make contact, Nicholas, he's got the double kiss, he's got all kinds of other obstacles to overcome to make sure this one goes safe.
Yes, it's hard to get separation after kicking this shot.
I mean, this is where amateur players like myself would just hit and hope, but
Yes.
even professionals, what do you do here in this situation? You've got to play it at a bit of pace, but not too much.
Wow.
Well,
That
under the
was good
circumstances,
contact.
he's done
Is he
well.
gonna
Where's
get-
the cue ball going? My word, he's been really unfortunate there. As it is, he'll be happy with how it's finished up, but he could have
Yes.
replied with an absolute stormer of a shot.
It doesn't look like he's left William. I can't see. Is William able to cut that ball in? I guess he was.
Oh, he's not got a good
Oh.
connection there. Has he been saved by the 4, though? Well, the 4 might come to his rescue, but Nicholas Tan surely will find a cushion if he needs to go cushion first to pot this. It was a big arse, wasn't it, cutting it that fine?
Yes.
And it wasn't really close.
If he could have cut it that fine, he could have. Yeah, he could have probably hit it thinner. Yeah.
This is hard, and it looks, though, for Nicholas Tan under the circumstances of the pressure building, and he misses
Oh.
it.
Okay, that's a big
Nothing but fresh air, and surely now it's almost like neither of these guys want to play Alicia Sharp tomorrow.
shot. He should have at least made contact. This is going to definitely cost him. But there were two things that were difficult. One was making contact, and the other was getting position. But I think he's hit it with a bit too much speed and shortened the angle, so he didn't contact the one.
Well, both players now have made bad shots on the one.
It's
There'll be no missing
understandable
this.
in this situation.
Nice pace on the cue ball there to get up to the 2. Now let's start seeing where he goes from here. The red should be simple enough. I can't see any obstacles here, but we've seen both players in racks earlier in the match manage to mess things up from easier situations than this. William Ang, though, surely will convert as the more experienced player, and Nicholas Tan will be kicking himself that he's not gone through if that turns out to be the case.
I'm sure this match will haunt Nicholas if he loses it.
Down goes the 3. Well, the only hope that Nicholas has got here really at this point is going to be the 5. And he's screwed back enough. Ooh, maybe he would like to screw back a little bit further. But there's still
He's
enough
okay.
separation between cue ball and 5 to play this back for the only 2 balls that remain, the 6 followed by the 9. My word, that wasn't close that wasn't close.
That was definitely close. I think he could have used the rest there.
He rushed that
Yes, I
shot,
guess.
didn't he? And he's just about got away with it, but again, not straightforward here. The 9's is an open air, so the cue ball really anywhere from this shot is an advantage for him. Will leave him a shot on the 9, and down it goes, and it's going to
Well
be the
played.
right centre pocket for the 9 ball, and William Ang, who's going to come from 3 racks down here, by the looks of things, to send Nicholas Tan tumbling out of the one-play Cuesports Singapore 9-ball invitational matchup. William Ang, they touch shoulders, elbows, not allowed to shake hands, of course. And William Ang, well, they called him the Pirate, and you told us why, and so it's proved.
And he did not give up, and he came back and won the match.
So congratulations to William Ang, commiserations to Nicholas Tan. William Ang is our first man through to the quarterfinals. He'll take on Alyosha Yap tomorrow. I'm going to head over there and try and have a quick chat with the winner as we get another look at the 9-ball that sealed the deal. Staying with you for continued coverage of Play Cuesports Singapore. Well, I was asking Sharik Saeed why they call William Ang the pirate in commentary there, and now we know why. Talk about snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. You must have thought on a number of occasions there, William, that you were going to go out before the quarterfinals.
Actually, I did it many times, but I prefer to be ahead than behind always.
I mean, it was a fascinating match to watch. Some incredible shots made, but I'm sure you'll be the first to say some of the shots you missed are the kind of shots normally for you would be absolutely routine. Is it maybe the pressure of the first tournament after a long break, the television lights, the television studio? I mean, it was absorbing to watch, but it must have been painful to play in.
Yeah, it's quite painful to play because I've not been playing at this kind of arena for a very long time. Okay, and as for Nicholas, right? So he's this is his first time like playing in such a big event. So that's why he missed a couple of shots because due to the pressure.
I mean, you're at veteran status now, aren't you? I mean, I couldn't believe it when I was doing the introductions. 2003 SEA Games bronze medalist. I mean, that's a long time ago now, but you obviously still have the passion. You obviously still love playing, and nights like this and tournaments like this still get you energized and motivated to give your best.
Yeah, because on and off, I've not been playing. So I probably came back maybe a year or two ago to come back to the scene. So this is actually one of the big events that I ever played ever since 2003. So that's why the pressure is immersing also.
Now, next up for you, you've won the right to take on the #1 seed Alyosha Yap in the quarterfinals tomorrow. Now, he's obviously the undisputed #1, but you've got the advantage now. You've played the table, you've played under these, the environment, if you like, and under these conditions. Do you think you've got the game to give him a real go tomorrow night?
I'll probably try my best. Right now, I know the condition of the table right now, and I'm more stable. I hope that I will play better than today.
Yeah, listen, you're through, that's the main thing. But bearing in mind, we are all about, connecting communities and creating heroes. You've been a hero for Singapore in the past, in the SEA Games in 2003. Let's finish with a word on Nicholas, because he's obviously only 18. I'm sure he's not feeling great after a match. In reality, he probably should have won. What can you tell us about Nicholas, and what can we expect to see from him in the future? Do you think he will be a future SEA Games medalist like yourself?
He will probably have the chance. Right now, his potting is very swift. You can see that he has been potting well. Right now, it's because of the certain pressure that caused him to miss. If not, he can take shots, comfortably. Right now, we can see very clearly that he lost this match not because of his skill. It's due to the mental side and the pressure side. I suppose that this one, he can build up in time.
Well, we've heard of Pirates of the Caribbean. It's Pirates of the Singapore tonight for poor Nicholas Tan. You've managed to steal his treasure. Listen, all the best. We'll look forward to seeing you in action tomorrow. There's William. We'll be seeing him against Aliusius Yap tomorrow in our first quarter-final. Remember, we're tomorrow on air at 9 p.m. Singapore time. That's GMT +8. But don't you dare go anywhere, because we still have one pre-quarter-final qualifier to come, and that sees Fraser Leow up against Jessica Tan, the Golden Girl, the only female in our competition.
We start each day with high hopes. We meet people, sharing rides with them. People who build their lives around family, around their children's future. People who rely on others to give them a helping hand. And those who cherish quality time with loved ones. And like everyone else, we find comfort in people we trust. People who understand our needs and raise us above all expectations. People who share our dreams.
Welcome back live to the One Play Sports Spectrum in the heart of the Singapore Sports Hub, where we're in the middle of a very special night this Monday, the 10th of August 2020. Not only is it the public holiday celebrating Singapore's 55th year of independence, it is also day one of the One Play Cuesports Singapore 9-ball invitational matchup. If you're just joining us, you've missed an absolute nail-biter. William Ang getting the better of the youngster Nicholas Tan in a match that went the distance. William coming through by 7 racks to 6, and we've still got a big game to come, because if you thought the pressure on William Ang was big with the youngster taking him on, the only female in the field, the Golden Girl Jessica Tan, is up against the 7th ranked player in this competition, Fraser the Laser Leow. And Jessica Tan has been around the venue for the last half an hour, I must say, looking very confident indeed. Now, this is great to see, great to be able to bring you these pictures, and I'll tell you why. Because that's our referee for this second match, Stefan Ung, and he is disinfecting the table. We're changing the balls. Everything has been cleaned and replaced. And as you'd expect in these COVID-19 times, every precaution being made so we can bring you this live sport. So a new set of balls being used. You can see the referee will be disinfecting and has been disinfecting the sides of the table. And a reminder as well that we're not just coming to you in English on One Play Sports tonight, we're also in Indonesian Bahasa, live and exclusive on One Play Sports Indonesia. Join our good friend Tava over there, who's on commentary duty on One Play Sports Indonesia. We are back with a bang here on One Play Sports after a 4-month break. Live sport has returned to the Lion City State. A big thank you to Christopher Chua and Lily and all the team at Cuesports Singapore for helping One Play Sports continue to connect communities and create heroes. And we very nearly created a new hero just moments ago, but Nicholas Tan, the rising star, falling just short. Couldn't get over that finishing line against William Ang, but we certainly won't have heard the last of young Nicholas Tan. And as for William Ang, well, the 2003 SEA Games medalist, who's to say he won't make it through to Sunday's big final. Let's take this opportunity to have another look at that draw bracket, because it can give me a chance to tell you the other matches that are on the agenda throughout the course of the week. You can see William Ang has booked that date with Aloysius Yap, the undisputed #1 seed. They will take on each other in their quarterfinal, which is also a race to 7. That's tomorrow at the slightly later start time of 9 p.m. Singapore time, depending on where you're watching in the world. That is GMT +8. Then on Wednesday is Desmond Go against David Balla, also at 9 p.m. Singapore time. My co-commentator, my dear friend Sharik Saeed, he's talking tough ahead of his big match against Steve Fong. And on paper, of course, they're seeded to be the tightest matchup in the quarterfinals, being 4th and 5th seed respectively. And what about this? Aloysius Yap's doubles partner from the SEA Games in Clark at the end of 2019, Tolian Han, he will be taking on the winner of Fraser Leow and Jessica the Golden Girl Tan, who are about to meet as soon as our referee Stefan Ng. And we're not going to rush him because we want to do things properly here. He's making sure each and every ball is changed. The table has been cleaned. The players' seating areas have also been disinfected. The mugs have been changed. And we're also changing the equipment to make sure that everything is done here in proper procedures. Everyone that arrived at the venue, and we're operating on, of course, a very reduced crew, were scanned and had their temperatures taken, disinfected and sanitised before they were allowed into the venue. And I'm delighted to say that everyone is safe and well here and very much enjoying bringing you back live sport. I must also thank our sponsors, Eden Resources, who are a big friend of Cuesports in Singapore. They have kindly and generously donated to our prize fund of 2,300 Singapore dollars. The Q Shop, great to see Dominic and Uncle Paul doing such good work to help our great team here at One Play Sports build this magnificent set. And as you heard from Sharik, it's not often these players get to play on a diamond table, so that's fantastic. Andy Billiard Cloth, well, the billiard cloth is doing us a good service so far, leading to plenty of exciting pool. And I must mention our friends at 42 as well, those wonderful green chairs you see in the corner of the set. They're provided by 42, who've done such a great job dressing our sets here at One Play Sports for not just this event, but our work with Sports SG, and of course our continuing, we hope, soon coverage of the Singapore Premier League. So, what work from Stefan Ng to get that table turned round so quickly. The lights are flashing, but they'll soon go to match play mode as we get ready for our second match. So let me officially introduce to you the second piece of live sport in 4 months live in Singapore is about to get underway. Our referee for this one is Stefan Ng. Thank you, Stefan, for being with us. And we have a match-up. It's man against woman now. The only female in the field taking on this man. He'll come into the arena first. He is the laser, Fraser Leow. And there you see Fraser's vital statistics, sponsored by KFQ. He's a right-hander, ranked 7th in Singapore. He's in the top 50 in the Asian rankings, and multiple-time top 4 finisher at the National Championships. He has got a resume to match the best of them. But can he get the better of the lady that is now about to enter into the arena? She is the golden girl of Cuesports in Singapore. You'll remember her very fondly from her bronze medal winning performance in the SEA Games at the end of last year in Clark. She is a 5 times national ladies champion. The golden girl, Jessica Tan. So, I'm back alongside Sharik, and you saw Jessica Tan's CV there, and it is a glittering CV. If Cuesports was more unisex, there's an argument for saying she might have made the top 8 seeds on merit and not need a wild card.
Actually, she's actually our 15th seed in the men's division.
Wow.
So, yes, you
So
know
she-
the level of pool
she's-
that she plays.
Yeah, and I'm sure she's going to strut her stuff for us here. Here's the lag. And who's going to come out on top here? Because the lag did prove all important in our last match. That's going to be a very tight one. It's just going to go the way of Fraser, I think. So it'll be Fraser to try and strike first blood in this race to 7 racks. Great chat. I'm sure you were listening to it, the chat with William after that first match. A lovely chat, William, and very humble. I did feel I saw Nicholas Tan at the corner of my eye. I think he was very disappointed. But there's plenty of time on his side.
Yes, I'm sure. Nicholas is a young player, and he definitely gained a lot of experience from this match. And I'm sure I'll be talking to him about how the match went later on.
You can report back to us on what he said when we begin our coverage tomorrow night, maybe.
Yes.
So, Fraser Leow, no need to tell you which one's which here. Man against woman, the oldest battle of them all.
Oh, yes. This is going to be an exciting match as well.
Not messing around with 2 down from the break. Make that 3, the 8, the 2. And was that the 7 or the 4 that went down? That pesky turquoise 7.
Oh, yes.
Still tripping me up. I know the 2 and the 8 went.
The 2 and the 4 actually.
The 2 and the
tripping me up.
4. Now I'm getting my purples and my blacks mixed up. I thought the 8 went in the middle.
So I think the 2 is on the table and the 4 went in.
So it's the 8 and the 4. We'll get there in the end.
Yes.
As I say, just to give Sharik and myself a get out on that, we're obviously operating remotely off a monitor because we don't want to be anywhere near the arena. These matchups are being conducted in very strict COVID protocols.
Looks like Fraser's going to play a push out as well.
So a push out to start the second match, like a push out started
And it's
the
going
first.
It's going to start off with a jump shot as well. But it does
Well, this is a
not look
carbon
like an
copy of
easy
what
one,
we saw, isn't it?
right?
Carbon copy of what we saw in the first match. There was push outs and jump shots to get us underway there as well. Plenty of chalk going on this cue. But as jump shots go, this would be an ambitious one. This would be the Evel Knievel of pool jump shots.
Yes, looks like he's going to be kicking at this ball because the 6 ball is too close to the 2. So a kick would be the better option.
Yeah, it was a bit optimistic. What a shot that
What
is, by
a
the way.
shot
Oh,
that
so
was.
unlucky. Always the danger, the old in off. And Jessica Tan's tactics have worked to perfection early. And of course, even though neither of them has been on a run, there's already 4 of the balls down. So an opportunity here for Jessica to strike first against the throw.
That was a good shot by Fraser, just a little unfortunate to scratch in the corner pocket.
It's a pace like there. Just want it to go too much
Oh.
faster. Is that just a question of maybe getting used to the speed of the table, that kind of shot?
Yes. But I believe she could have left herself a little further on the 5.
Now what does she play here?
Looks like she's going to be playing a safety, using the 6 and 7 as a blocker.
And she's misjudged the pace of that one badly. So
But
Jessica's first 2 shots suggest she's still trying to get to grips with the pace of the table. Like all the players, she was given an opportunity to have some practice on the match table in strict isolated circumstances before the matchup began this evening.
Yes, she's overran both of her shots. So now she has to make some mental adjustments.
Bit of a reprieve from Fraser as well after his in-off when downing the 2.
That was good control.
A reminder for those of you just joining us, we have a burnt orange turquoise clash. The burnt orange 7 is indicated on the 9-ball scorer there on your graphic as you watch at home, and obviously on the table it's turquoise. He's got a lovely angle there. This should be a routine 1-2 knockout blow for Jessica Tan in the first rack from Fraser Leow.
Fraser's about to take first blood, and Jessica had a brilliant opportunity to start off, but she did not capitalize on it. Jessica would have been better off playing a stop shot with the ball in hand. That would have given a good position on the 5-ball.
So, first blood to Fraser, and early signs that Jessica maybe just needs to, I think she needs to have a lengthy visit to the table just to adjust herself to the pace. It's something that's very familiar to Cuesports players when you're playing in a new environment, when you're playing on a new table, and indeed a new cloth as this one is. It's only 1 match old. The pace of the table is almost the first thing you need to get used to, because it's all about cue ball control, and that was the area that Jessica was let down by in that first rack.
Yes, I totally agree. Jessica just needs some time on the table, and she will be used to the speed.
Don't forget to like, share, follow, comment. Lots of people liking you, Sharik. You've got a growing fan club here on the Facebook comment section. So give the One Play Sports Facebook page a like, share and follow. And don't forget to comment. If you want to shout out, drop us your name. We've got Sky Loki, or is it Skylock or Sky Loki? We've got Darren Young there, Michael Chwas cheering on Jessica. We've got Jenny cheering on Fraser. That's not very sporting of you, Jenny. You should be surely sticking with the females here. Barry E with us. Yvonne Lim has signed off after the first game. Why did you go, Yvonne? You could have enjoyed this match as well. Second rack about to be broken off by Jessica Tan, the golden girl, who'll want to make something happen from the get-go here.
It's good to see some of my friends from the US watching.
Give them a shout out, Sharik. Don't be shy.
Yes. There's Jamie Helmley and Audrey Chua. Well, she was in the US, but she's in Hong Kong now.
Okay. Well, it's still great to see so many people watching this great event from around the world. Now, Jessica's managed to drop balls from the break-off. The question now is, where did that one go? The cue ball and the one right at the far end of the table, I think, if that replay is anything to go by. But she doesn't look like she's got a straightforward shot, and that shows you she hasn't. So are we going to see another safety? There's lots of outs, if you like, playing safe to the bottom rail.
Yes.
But again, lots of outs if she gets the pace right.
She could bank this or play a safety. And
Well,
she chose.
where's this cue ball gone? Because if the cue ball doesn't cover that, that's another poor misjudgment from Jessica. Again, you have to say, just looks like she's taking her time to try and adjust to the speed of the cloth here. And in a race to 7, you don't get many second chances. I mean, I say that we saw plenty of second chances of both players in the previous match, but she's not.
Right. I think I think all of us actually recently we haven't played on tournament-like conditions, and so it will take some time for us to adapt to the table.
Can I just give you advance warning? Oh, look at that miss as well. Well, speak of the devil. Now both of them struggling early. Fraser Leow this time, his turn for a miss. But having seen all this, Sharik, when I'm on commentary on your match on Thursday, I won't be putting up with all these excuses. I shall be giving you penalties
Yes,
if you start missing shots.
I will
like
be
this.
prepared.
Now, that's another look back at that miss one. And again, that was a mile away, wasn't it? It wasn't even a jaw shot.
Well, to be fair, he was elevated over the 8-ball. That's not an excuse for him, but
You're all sticking up for each other.
It's not the
you
easiest
nine-ball
of
players.
shots.
I'm here to tell her as it is, and that wasn't good enough. Come on, Fraser, up your game. Jessica, she'll be pleased to be on the mark, or off the mark, I should say. Now she's got a
controlled the speed well on that shot.
Now, breaking news, have a look at that. What's different about our 9-ball graphic? Hats off to Michael Chua. We've now got the turquoise 7 on
yes.
board.
The 7 ball.
It's all
is-
happening here. One Play Sports not missing a trick.
Well, thank you, Brian Edwards. He's another one of my friends from the US.
What's he
Thank you
saying?
for watching.
Well, Fraser Leow's unexpected miss on the one has given Jessica an opportunity, but
The 5 is not sitting in a good position.
no, the
So-
5 and the 7 are almost tying each other up. It's all about cue ball control here, and that's the area so far that Jessica's struggled with. Great opportunity now, though, to get the confidence back by a couple of good positional shots. She elected not to do too much with the cue ball there, Sharik.
That was a smart shot, I would say. She just has to focus on making this ball and just avoid the side pocket on the side that she's shooting the shot from. Not much to do with the cue ball.
Still a tester of a cut, this, though. Seen the missed already tonight. And we've seen another one missed by a mile there. That missed further than the 1 ball by Fraser. She's compensated, or tried to compensate, by where she's left the cue ball, but I can think he can see enough of this, don't you, Sharik?
He might have to play rail first. Or he might play the end rail
Well-
first. I'm not sure he can see the 5 clearly.
Yes, well,
Yes, he's looking to kick off the top rail because he can't see enough from behind the 6.
he needs to see that full ball, doesn't he, to pot it, and he can't see it full ball. Must
Yes.
also point out, Michael Chow, being the generous chap that he is, one of our One Play Sports team, is crediting our marvellous Filipino graphic ops, John. Our Filipino team do a great job with the graphics, as does Jamie here in Singapore, and they have remedied that 9-ball indicator. Many thanks, John.
Yes, thank you. Jessica with another opportunity.
She needs to close one out, though. This second frame has been nervy from both of them, and the one telling thing in this rack is they've both missed, not straightforward shots, but both missed shots by a long way. This has to go for Jessica, you fancy.
Yes.
And go it does just.
Good speed. If she had hit it any harder, the 5 might have hung up. That was a smart shot.
So the old 6, 7, 8, 9 combination to finish here, to level things up. Slightly awkward in the transition here from green to turquoise 7, but again, the cue ball speed is going to be crucial here, because she'd just like to be able to drop that 7 into the centre pocket, wouldn't she, off this shot,
Yes, that's right.
as opposed to
And
having
I
to go
think
long.
I think she has to use her rest here. That's a good option. Good decision to use the rest.
Do you consider yourself a good rest player, Sharik?
I'm not a great rest player, but I'm decent with it. I
What's your-
should be practicing with it a little more.
What's your highest break in snooker, by the way?
I've played snooker like maybe 10 times in my life, and I've made my highest break would be, I don't know, 85 points.
You've played it 10 times, and
I
your highest
swear.
break's 85. You make me sick. You're worse than Alicia Sharp. Alicia Sharp, got the hair of a bronzed Adonis. He's like the #1 ranked pool player in Singapore, and he told me his highest break in snooker is 136.
Oh yes.
I think mine's 9.
Oh, yours is 9. Well, Losh is actually a pretty good snooker player. He competes in national championships in snooker. I've never competed in a national snooker championship before.
We'll get to see Alicia Sharp in action tomorrow against our first winner tonight, William Ang. Join us for that one at 9 p.m. Singapore time, GMT +8. Meanwhile, who will be taking on the #2 seed, and who will have to wait till Friday to play their quarter-final? To Liang Han awaits the winner of this one, and we're still no closer to knowing whether it will be Fraser Leow or Jessica Tan. What we do know is that Jessica's got a golden opportunity here to get off the mark rack-wise, but she's not no man's land. She should be up to cut. Does she go middle or far pocket here for you?
I would be going for the corner pocket because the corner pocket plays a lot bigger right now. If she plays it with good speed, even if she lands near the pocket, the 9's going to drop.
She's looks to me like she's caught in two minds, so this will be interesting. Is she heeding your advice, Sharik?
I
she
doesn't look
is?
like it.
She
Yes,
listens
I
to
guess she
Sharik
did.
Saeed, and it pays dividends. And we are tied at 1 rack each. We've already seen one match tonight go the distance. William Ang getting the better of Nicholas Tang, who'll be going home tonight. Won't be able to sleep wondering how he lost that Nicholas Tang.
Oh, yes.
William Ang's matched by 7 racks to 6. And here, in another race to 7, Jessica Tan is off the mark. And that was important, wasn't it? Bearing in mind the rocky start she made to get on the board and level things up early. You're watching the One Play Sports and Cuesports Singapore 9-ball invitational matchup 2020. We're starting tonight through every night this week to our grand final on Sunday. We've got Aliushis Yap against tonight's winner, William Ang. Tonight's first match winner, William Ang, tomorrow at 9 p.m. And then quarterfinals all the way on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Semis on Saturday, 8 p.m. Singapore time, GMT +8. And then the grand final start at 9. There's another look at the 9-ball that levelled this match up from Jessica Tan, who's made a shaky start's a bit harsh, but...
So, to answer Derek's question,
Yes,
there is a shot clock.
I should ask. Yes, Dennis has got 2 questions for you. Actually, we'll go on the shot clock in a minute. He doesn't believe that you've only played snooker 10 times and I've got a highest break of 88. I think he's calling you.
Yes,
a
I
liar,
have,
Sharik.
but the thing is, I've been playing pool for like more than 10 years.
But can we get the 85 break independently verified? Was there anyone there watching it?
Well, I can try to do it in the next 10 days. I think I'll be able to
I
get
might
one.
hold you to that, mate. I might hold you to that. And sorry, dear, do talk about Dennis. A few people have been asking about the shot clock. Yes, there is one, and the referee's enforcing it. And I know you're monitoring it for us in the commentary box, but we haven't come close to seeing it violated.
Being
so far, have we?
utilised. Well, I think the players are keeping their speed up, so they're all finishing their shots within 45 seconds. But they also have one extension per rack of 45 seconds if they decide to use it.
And of course, 1 7-minute timeout for both. We saw William use that timeout very wisely. He took the timeout down 3 with Nicholas 2 racks from victory and managed to use it to his advantage. Still didn't hit the ground running when he came back from the timeout, but managed to get it in the end. A nice long 1 for Fraser.
Yes.
And he's got a lovely angle here on the 2 as well. This rack looks there for the taking.
As I had said earlier, William had to hope for Nicholas to make mistakes, and Nicholas made the mistakes for William to get back into the match.
Look at that focus, great concentration, lovely camera work there from our top cameraman team. You can see there's nothing putting Fraser Leow off his A game here. Nice slight angle on the 4 as well to find position for that orange 5 along the rail.
He seems to be a bit more comfortable now. Fraser's a very consistent player. He's been finishing high in our national championships and rankings in the last 1 to 2 years.
No problem at all there. Maybe slightly off beam on the shot for the 6, but should be okay because obviously the black 8 will go into middle. Just wants to be underneath that black 8, doesn't he, so he can roll the cue ball down for the 9. I think he's got the angle to do just that. So relatively routine this 3rd rack for Fraser Leow, subject to these last 2 going down. And we're going to stay on serve by the looks of things. Can't count chickens though. There was a couple of easy 9s missed in the first match.
Oh yes, under these conditions, no ball is a gimme. You have to put your utmost focus on every shot.
Down it goes. Check the cue ball safe and stays up, and it does. And our referee Stefan Ung signifies that Fraser Leow edges back ahead by 2 racks to 1, but Jessica Tan will come to the table first in the 4th.
I'm sure Fraser is facing some extra pressure playing a female player.
Yeah, I mean, we joke about that, but you know, it's there's a sort of
It is real.
It's not a sexist thing or anything. It's just the reality of the situation, isn't it?
Yes.
If you're playing a female in most sport, it's a no-win situation. Really, people expect you to win, rightly or wrongly. That's the wider perception, isn't it? And as you
Yes.
said, Jessica's a strong enough player to be ranked in the top 20 of the combined game in Singapore. So, bearing in mind Fraser comes in here ranked 7, it's it's not. There's no golfing class there. This is
Yes.
this is on paper a tight match, and so far so it's proving.
And on top of that, it's a short format. So it's a toss-up.
Obviously, we play over 7 racks tonight. We play over 7 racks through the quarters, then move up to 9 in the semis on Saturday, and the final will be a race to 11. Jessica just having a look at as the players are entitled and always do, having a lean over at the referee's racking.
Yes.
You are allowed to request the referee makes alterations, aren't you? As long as you've got a point.
Just once. So you can only ask the referee once to re-rack the balls. They're just trying to make sure that the balls are all frozen together.
That's the cue pan like a Jessica Tan here. Decent. Well, the 6 goes down, and it wasn't alone either. And the 1 is tight on the rail, but it's a makeable shot. No, not an easy shot. Difficult to control the cue ball off the back of it, but she's got a shot at least. And the 2's an open play as well if she can sink the 1.
Yes, this is a good opportunity for Jessica to tie the match. Key shot is on the 1 ball.
Well, we've seen lots of cuts missed tonight. And again, that might just be the players getting used to these conditions. And the tighter they are against the rail, sometimes the harder it is. And this is tight up against the rail. And a nice delicate touch from Jessica, and she'll take that kiss off the 8 all day long.
Slightly tricky shot here. I'm not sure if she can just roll down for the 3 ball. Or if she'll have to come down table.
Well, the angle on this 2 is such that it's quite difficult to hold for the 3. So that's exactly what you alluded to, Sharik, whether she's going to have to come
Yes.
back to this bottom
From our
cushion and
point
then go
of
back
view,
up.
from our point of view, the angle's not that clear. So
Well, that was the danger. You can see she's just about okay, but she didn't have much more space to play with there. She very nearly got stuck behind the 9, but she's okay. She's still in there pitching. Now, does that 4 go past the 7? That's what she's looking at now for the shot
Yeah.
after this one. Looks like it does, but again, just to remind viewers, we're due to COVID-19, we're commentating remotely, even though we're in the arena. We're not near the table and are watching it off a monitor. But the way she's playing this shot suggests the 4 does go past that 7, and if it does, she is very much in business here. Just the 8 really to worry about from here on in.
yes. She just has to get a nice angle on the 7 ball to drop onto the 8. So let's see how she plays that. I would just come back to the center of the table.
Yeah, the trouble is she's going to be distracted by the 8 because that's in the back of her mind, the shot she needs to play off the 7 for the 8. But you've got to make sure you pot the balls first. She's done the job nicely there on the 5. Now, 7 to 8, that's the key shot of this rack, and there's not much margin for error. Is she just going to try and lie up close to this black and pot it along the rail?
Yes, she could either draw the cue ball or go off the top rail. That's what she has elected to do. It seems like she has a better feel for the speed of the table now.
It seems to be that the nerves have settled and that the pace of the table is being acclimatized to. Of course, the problem here is she's going to leave herself surely a big distance between the cue ball and the object ball when she goes for 9, whatever she does here.
She has to be careful here not to hit this ball a little too hard, or the pocket
And
won't
that's
accept.
exactly what she's done, and that's a poor miss. She needs the 8 to keep going, and it's not.
I think she did not get as close as she would have liked on the 8 ball.
I mean, again, for novices watching, that's one of the key elements of this game, isn't it? That the harder the shot usually is because the further you are away from the object ball.
Yes.
And that was the case there. And Fraser Leow, for the first time in this match, is going to open up a 2-rack break on Jessica Tan, who really had every chance there to close out, but couldn't convert the one tricky shot she had on the run-in, which was the 8. And Fraser Leow makes no mistake at all. And it's the number 7 seed leading the wild card Jessica Tan by 3 racks to 1.
I would have expected Jessica to make the 8 ball, but under these conditions,
Well,
you know,
speaking about the conditions, the table is obviously part of that. And Derek Chan is saying it's the first diamond table he's seen in Singapore. So the table's certainly getting a lot of notice out there for people watching on One Play Sports as we see another look at Fraser converting that 9.
yes, it is the first diamond table that we have in Singapore.
It's great to see, and we're wonderfully pleased to be able to bring it to you here live on One Play Sports. This One Play Cuesports Singapore 9-ball invitational matchup 2020. The quarterfinals are raced to 7, the semi-finals are raced to 9, and the grand finals are raced to 11. 2,300 Singapore dollars in the prize fund. And don't forget to like, share, follow, comment One Play Sports on Facebook. Many thanks to Andy Billiard-Cloth and the Q Shop, who have done such good work to help get us the top table and equipment to you. 42, who've kindly provided the chairs that the players are sitting on, and of course Eden Resources, who've donated generously to a very healthy prize fund of 2,300. You've promised to take me out for dinner on Monday night if you win the $1,000 on Sunday. Is
Most
that right, Shereen?
definitely.
Yeah.
You don't even have to ask.
You're going to let me upsize my Happy Meal as well, I take it.
For sure. To
So-
answer Derek's question, the players are invited, the top 8 players in Singapore are invited, and 2 wildcards, which are Nicholas Tan and Jessica Tan.
As the leading junior and leading female player respectively. And yeah, feel free to keep the questions coming, and we'll do our best to answer them as we can. We like to build a community here on these events, particularly these ongoing events as this one is over 7 days on One Play Sports. Ho King Lee says the production quality reminds me of the World Pool Masters. I'm assuming that's a compliment.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Ho King Lee.
Thank you. Yes, it does. I would say this arena is a world-class arena.
Thank you very much. I'll take that as a compliment from you, Sharik. You've obviously travelled the world. You were in Vegas with the Lucius when the COVID struck, weren't you? So you know what it's like. I'm sure the productions are very elaborate in Vegas. Are you a fan of Las Vegas?
Yes, I like Las Vegas.
I asked Lucius, what did you do when the tournament was postponed? Did you rush back to Singapore, or did you try and party on a bit in Vegas? And you promised to me, both of you, that you came straight home and party in Vegas. Not
Yes,
sure I
we
believe
came straight home because Aloysius' mother was worried for him.
Oh, bless.
And so, you know, we did the right thing to come back in time.
Now back to the live action here. Jessica, I think she's played that intentionally. She's played a nice shot to hide the 2 behind the 8. And that's going to put some pressure on Fraser Leow.
Yes, Fraser's probably going to try to kick at this off of 2 rails. As you can see, he's trying to catch the right side of the 2 ball, so he can create some separation using the 3, 5, 8, 9 as blockers.
Well, he's got full ball contact there, which helps him. It's going to run a little bit too far to be an excellent shot, but not a disaster by any stretch. And now the pressure's going to come on to Jessica to do something special here. We could be in for a little interesting safety exchange here. You don't tend to get prolonged safety exchanges in 9-ball, do you?
With the very elite players, you would be surprised. I've seen them exchange 10, 15 innings. So
We're not going to get that here, are we? In this particular exchange, I mean, not suggesting they're not elite players, but
right, on this particular exchange, it would be a bit difficult because there's so few balls on the table.
well, she's gone for the pot there, missed it, and now she's going to fall back on what the shot to nothing option was with a very, very nice cue ball. Thank you very much.
That was another 2-way shot because if she had made the shot, she would have position on the 3. And now that she hasn't made it,
So it was
she has
both a
snooked
shot
at
to
Fraser.
nothing and a shot to something at the same time.
Yes.
How uncomfortable, by the way, is it playing with wearing masks? Did it
It
take
is
some getting
slightly
used to?
uncomfortable. It just doesn't feel the way it normally used to because we are so used to playing without a mask. It kind of hinders our just the feeling. But I think the players are used to it now because we've been playing without a mask for about a month now.
No contact made. Foul has been called here. It's going to be ball in hand for Jessica Tan and an opportunity to claw one back. And she's earned that ball in hand, hasn't she, with that beautiful previous shot to nothing and something.
Yes, an opportunity to bring the score to within 1.
And she needs to do that, really. We saw William Ann come from 3 racks down against Nicholas Tan. I'd be surprised if Jessica Tan can come from 3 down against Fraser Leow.
In 9-ball pool, I would say that there are no surprises.
Well, after what we saw in the first match tonight, I tend to agree with you, Sharik. 3 next.
Yes, it's a very unpredictable game.
3 and 4 are very close together. I'm wondering whether that 3 goes. That's what Jessica's looking at.
Yeah.
Or is she looking at the plant here?
Yes, she's looking at the combination shot.
Not
She could-
straightforward, this. Not much margin for error. And again, misses by quite a way. And has she left that red 3 straight into the opposite corner pocket at the other end of the table?
Combination shots are never easy because you have to judge the throw that takes place among the 2 object balls.
And I wonder if there
Between
was
the
a bad
two
contact
balls.
there, because referee Stefan Ung has been asked to clean the cube. Well, that's something you can ask the referee to do at any stage during the rack.
Yes.
It's very close. There's hardly any distance here. And just to clarify, unlike snooker, push shots, what's the status of push shots in 9-ball?
So if 2 balls are frozen together, you
This one isn't
can
obviously, as we
play
can
in
see,
the
yeah.
direction of the ball in pool. That's in snooker you can't.
He's going to try and lay up here under 5, is he? Well, he's
Think
played safe
he was
there.
playing a safety. That's a smart shot. He has left the 3 in the open, so it's going to be difficult to hit for Jessica. Good speed control by Fraser on that shot. It's pretty easy to double cue on that shot, and he avoided that.
Well, the ball's gone down, but it's not the one she wanted, and it will be ball in hand for Fraser Leow. And now he has a real chance to put some serious daylight between himself and Jessica Tan.
That was a really difficult position for Jessica. I might have even considered kicking it off 3 cushions. The one closest to the 5 ball, and then the end rail, and then the side rail, and coming into the 3. It just makes the 3 ball a little bigger.
Nice delicate touch there. Straight down the hole it goes. I'm trying to see where his potential problems are here. He just needs to obviously avoid contact with the 9 and the 8 off this 4, which should go down easily enough, and find position behind the 5.
He has done that successfully.
Now it's 5 to 7 transition, because once the 7 goes down, you'd think the 8 and 9 would be back to back, potentially even in the same pocket. Can see why they call him the laser.
He doesn't
Didn't
like
like
the
that
angle
shot,
that
did
he
he?
has.
He didn't like that shot. I think there was a
Yes.
rueful play. Is he going to have to do more with the cue ball here than he intended?
Yes, he would have liked to be on the other side so that he can just stun down off 1 cushion for the 8 ball. But now he has to include a little bit of side spin on that shot.
Well, instead of 1 cushion, it's going to be 1 cushion straight down the middle. And as you suggested, he's going to have a hard job here, potting this 8 without making contact with the 9. And that could lead to a tricky shot to finish it off. And of course, it also psychologically affects you maybe when you're going for a difficult 8. He doesn't like this at all. And this is where
Yes.
composure can be key and king. Got to keep himself together here.
Well, the cue ball takes away half your focus because you're colliding into the 9. He just has to make sure he makes the 8 ball.
And where's the 9 going to go?
And-
It's going to go safe. And after all that hard work, and that's the beauty and the beast of 9-ball, isn't it? You can do
Yeah.
all the hard work in the world, but if you can't get that 9 down, it counts for absolutely nothing. It's a cruel mistress, this game, isn't it, Shereen?
Right. It's not easy to judge how full he was going to hit the 9, especially on conditions that he's not familiar playing with. But he hit the 8 ball a little bit too hard.
So you've got to go for this, really, haven't you? You've got to buy a ticket to try and win a raffle here. Is he going
Yes.
to go for the bank into the middle?
This I would go for the bank shot and call it a two-way, just like that.
But he's played it in such a way, whether intentional or not. I mean, that's the trouble. I think when you commit to trying to make sure if it misses, it's going to be safe, you obviously increase the percentage chance you've got of missing the pot, and that's what he's done. But Jessica's got no gilt-edged opportunity here. And again, just to educate people who have stumbled upon 9-ball, I'm sure they'll be getting addicted to it, watching our coverage. You need to nominate on the 9-ball. It can't go into any pocket, right? Flukes don't count.
Flukes count in 9-ball.
Flukes
you can
count
make
in
the
9
9
ball.
in
That's
any
outrageous.
pocket. It's for 10-ball,
Maybe I'll give a
in
go
which
at
you
it.
have to call the pocket.
Yeah, I think I'll have a go at it. I wouldn't like 10-ball where you can't get the fluke away with the flukes. Here
Well, you
get
can blast at this ball, and if you make it, you win the game.
I'll have to give you a game in that case before the table is taken down.
Looks like
She's gone for the bank herself.
Wow.
And that is
That's
some
a
shot
great
by
shot.
Jessica Tan. Fraser Leow will be furious. He should be 4-1 up. Instead, he's only 3-2 ahead. And Jessica Tan very much back in this one. You're watching live coverage of the one-play Cuesports Singapore 9-ball invitational match up here this Monday night on the public holiday to celebrate Singapore's 55th year of independence. And there's a shot to celebrate any occasion. Jessica Tan with the bank. She did what Fraser couldn't and took the bank.
And she played a bank shot down the long rail to perfection.
Well, she needed that, didn't she? Because as we encourage people to like, share, follow, comment, and you're all liking, sharing, following and commenting when it comes to Jessica Tan. Our very own Merkel Chow, I think, has appointed himself as Director General of her fan club. He's very much in love with Jessica, it seems.
Oh, yes.
Albert Tan is with us. Lots of you having your say. Keep the comments coming on the Facebook comment section. Healthy numbers watching this. And a reminder, we're broadcasting live in Bahasa, Indonesia. Commentary as well. You can find that on the One Play Sports Indonesia Facebook page. Here in the English and global One Play Sports page, you're listening to Sharik Saeed and myself, bringing
Jessica
you
looking
the
to tie the
concluding
match
coverage
here.
of day one. Sorry, what's that,
I
Sharik?
was saying Jessica looking to tie the match here with a break and run.
And she's got the first stab, hasn't she, with the break.
You never want your opponent to come back to the table. That's when things get unpredictable.
All eyes on the one, as always, off the break here. Have we seen the one go down off the break so far today? We nearly did there, not quite, but she's got action and she needs a lucky bounce here to find one. Can she see enough of that 1-ball for the top right-hand corner pocket? I think potentially she can, and if she can, everything else is looking nice and open. Has she got an angle here, and can she see enough of it? She's got that style, hasn't she? She always likes to put the cue ball right, the cue right underneath the ball, just to try and judge the line. There's not much in this, is there?
Jessica's a very methodical player, so she has routines and everything. I have seen her practicing. Even in a practice, she's very methodical.
She was looking for more action off the rail than that.
Yes.
It's given her a tricky one on the 2. She almost didn't have a shot if it had drifted a little bit closer to the 3. She's okay.
Because the balls are so clean, the spin's not really grabbing off the rails. But she should be fine here. It's not an easy shot though.
Trouble as well in this shot, she's worrying about what she's doing with the cue ball. I mean, do you hold for the 3 here? Are you trying to come up and down for the 3? Or is she going to try and spin back? Not straightforward, this big shot in the context of the match as she tries to level it up.
Okay, so you can hear that the referee called 10 seconds.
And
That's
she's
to
called for a
indicate to her
timeout.
that she only has 10 seconds to shoot the shot, so she most likely has called for an extension of another 45 seconds.
They're allowed one of those every rack. She
She
doesn't
has-
seem convinced on this for me.
Right. She has to be careful with the execution. Oh, and she got a gift.
Well,
She's made the 8-ball.
what were we talking about, Flukes, a moment ago?
Yes.
What
so
a
that's
game
where it
this
comes
is.
into play.
This is the game. They don't punish people for being lucky, but they sure as hell punish you for being unlucky.
Oh, yes. Human nature is a little biased.
Another one of these tricky rail shots that we've seen missed. She's been so fortunate with the blue. The blue could have ended up anywhere, but it's offered her a shot up. Oof, again, that one just dribbled down. Talking about winning a rack the tough way. Plenty of 9 ball still to be played in this rack, though, because 7.
If her angle is too big on this shot, she might even try to come up above the 5 and then cut the 4 ball in. Just like that. Well played. Just a slow roll and control the cue ball for the 5. The balls lay pretty open now. She's looking strong to tie the score.
They're not going down cleanly, a lot of these balls, and she's overrun that, hasn't she?
She definitely has overrun that. I'm sure she didn't want to be that
Now
thing
these
on the 5 ball.
cuts have caught all 4 players we've seen playing today out already tonight, and this is far, far more acute than she wanted. Does well,
Seems
goes
like
down cleanly, and again the cue ball control just not quite there. Now how far's this rolled?
Judging by reaction,
Just about okay.
she seems comfortable with the shot.
Tell you what, a couple of inches further that would have been a different story.
I would agree with Ho King Lee here. He said 9 ball is easy to make hard, but hard to make easy.
I like that, buddy. I like that, Ho King.
Totally agree with that.
The universe is with you, Michael Chia says to Jessica. Well, the universe needs to be with her here because she's left herself another tricky one. Cue ball's close enough to the rail. And the white ball, the in-off's a problem. Needs to keep an eye on it. She's okay. And we're tied at 3 each. Well, Jessica Tan, she trailed 3-1 and very nearly was 4-1 down. But Fraser Leow spurned the opportunity to take that 5th rack. And just like this, we're all squared at 3 each in a race to 7.
The pressure is building up, and now it's a race to 4 that remains.
Thanks to all our sponsors, our generous friends at Eden Resources, who I know have been such big supporters of the Cuesports community. Also, Andy Billiards Cloth, the action you're enjoying is being played on the very best equipment that 9 ball has to offer. And thanks to Andy, we're playing on a speedy, durable and accurate cloth. Our good friends at the Q Shop, shouts out to Dominic and Paul, who helped us rig the table and the set over the weekend so we could bring this match up to you, and our furniture partners at 42, who do such a good job dressing our sets for the Singapore Premier League. Our work with Sports Singapore, and those very fetching green chairs that I'd be proud to have in my front room. I'm sure you would be too, Sharik. They're the chairs that the players are sitting on. Of course, the trouble with the players' chairs is in an ideal world, the players never want to sit in them, right? You always want to be up at the table, because your opponent can't beat you when he's sat on his backside.
You wouldn't want to be sitting on the chair when you're in a match.
So, 7th rack, it's Fraser back up. He's had chances to really be 5-1 up here and almost away and gone. It's not panned out like that. He needs to get back on track in this 7th rack. All eyes on the 1.
Good control of the cue ball.
And he's going to have a good shot here. Might have an issue with avoiding the 8 off this one.
That was a very nice break by Fraser, leaving himself a good shot on the 1 ball. And he can just drop onto the 2 ball off 1 or 2 rails. He's collided into the 8.
Couldn't avoid the 8, but he's managed to get the cue ball, I think, where he wanted it to be. He's having a pace round, but the chalk goes on. I always find when the player is quite quick to chalk the cue, it always means they're happy with the shot, because if you're not happy with it, you tend to stare at it a bit longer and delay the chalking.
Either that or slam the chalk. Good angle on the 2.
Nice control there. Very deft touch to sink that 2 and hold the cue ball for a nice straight shot on the 4. Maybe straight with a slight angle to help him
Yes.
navigate the next shot.
He's
But this
gonna.
looks all straightforward from here, really. Difficult
Right.
to see where he could go wrong.
He just like a little bit of angle, just like that, and now he can play off one cushion for the 6.
And this is on course, all being well, to probably be the quickest rack of the match so far. Love that camera shot where you can see the concentration in his eyes. He's okay here. A little bit to do with the cue ball to make himself comfortable on the 7. The 9 is in prime real estate, isn't it? Because effectively you've only got to make sure you sink the 7 and you're always going to have a shot on the 9. Nice work on the cue ball there, a bit of reverse spin.
Yes, that shot was well delivered.
And the only thing he doesn't want to do now is finish parallel with the 9 ball, anywhere other than parallel, and it's basically a gift horse for 4-3 Fraser Leow.
Just a soft stun shot would do the job.
He read your mind. So Fraser Leow, I think this is the quickest rack of the night, actually. Not far off it.
Yes.
And it's re-established his lead. Jessica Tan came from 3-1 down to 3 each. Fraser Leow now leads 4-3 in this race to 7 in a battle to see who will take on the number 2 seed in this competition on Friday. Lying in wait is Tolian Han, the number 2 seeded player, who really is an old stager, isn't he? He is the wily old fox of Singapore Cuesports.
Oh yes.
I was fascinated, we spoke about this when we had an interview with each other in the build-up to this. I was fascinated, as would remind you that you can catch Indonesia Bahasa commentary live on One Play Sports Indonesia Facebook page. Fascinated by the contrast in personality, styles and age with Aliusha Siap and Tolian Han when they battled their way to medals in the SEA Games in the Philippines.
Right. Don't be deceived by the looks, because the two of them know each other's games very well. They've known each other for a long time, more than 10 years, and they've been playing with each other, competing with each other. So at the SEA Games, it's no surprise that they played so well together.
Beaten by the Myanmar pair in the gold medal match. I know that would have been disappointing for them. The Philippines has a reputation, doesn't it, of being a hotbed of Cuesports and a hotbed of 9 pool, but I was slightly surprised, bearing in mind they were the host nations, they didn't perform a little bit better at the SEA Games. Let me just refresh my memory by the beauty of Wikipedia. Yeah, they picked up 10 ball gold with Dennis Orcolio, is obviously the big name in Cuesports there, but they would have probably expected to win more than 1 gold medal at Cuesports at the home games.
Yes,
Off the break. How did that 7 not go down? My word, that 7 shook the drawers. If we could have a look at that break again, the 7 absolutely rattled the drawers in the bottom right-hand pocket. I wouldn't mind seeing that break again if we can get it back up. We'll see. Fraser Leow with nothing down. Is that the first break we've had today where nothing's gone down? It might be the second.
Yeah, I think that is the first dry break.
It's the first one?
But
Certainly
I
in
think
this match.
If you notice, I think Jessica didn't strike the rack pretty square. And I think that's why the 7 ball rattled in the pocket.
Now, he's got the push-out option here, but of course he can push out and then Jessica can put him right back in the mix. So
he might be able to hide the cue ball behind the 6, just roll up behind it and let the 1 trickle down to the top of the table. Oh.
My word, that is a bad miscalculation.
That was definitely an unforced error.
What a bizarre start to this 8th rack. Fraser Leow keeps seemingly being intent on letting...
He had a couple of options there.
Now again, trying to see where her obstacles are. That's the red 3 on the left-hand cushion, isn't it? So
yes,
she should be
there's
okay.
2 on the other side.
She has given herself
I wonder if
quite
the
a
5...
nasty angle here.
I think she has a good angle, but I'm just wondering if the 5 passes the 8 ball. But that shouldn't pose too much of a problem.
And she's got a good angle. She's given herself a...
Oh, but she's hampered by the 3 ball.
Yeah, she's...
But the angle's pretty good. She has to focus on just making the shot. The cue ball will naturally get there.
And that was the danger, wasn't it? She's missed that by a long way as well. That wasn't close. I was just surprised. Obviously, you need the angle to work the cue ball for the next shot, but that was just...
She might have travelled a little bit too far with the cue ball.
And Fraser Leow can't wait to get back to the table, having made that miscalculation that gave Jessica ball in hand previously. Now, can he make her pay for a transgression herself?
He must be happy to not be punished for that mistake and have another opportunity back at the table.
Oh, that one rattled the jaws but went down. What's the bounce like here? Because he needs a shot on that 4 ball that's over the corner, the middle pocket. I think he's got away past that 9. He's having a close old look. Just came back far enough. It wasn't much in it, by the way.
Because it hit the 3 ball so thin, the cue ball travelled down to even behind the 9. Had he made it clean, he would have landed on top of the 9 ball.
Lovely cue ball control there, by the way. Really impressed how he held that cue ball up. He didn't want it to go too far down the far end of the table. But this is that question you raised a moment ago, didn't you? Does the 5 pass the 8? From our angle, and obviously we're working from monitor here, it doesn't appear so. But the way Fraser's played that, he must think it does. And if it doesn't, I suppose he can hold up the cue ball to avoid the in-off by cannoning into the 8, maybe even potting both of them. What we're going to see here.
I think he's going 3 cushions and making the 5 in the corner. Yes, that's what he's elected to do.
Lovely shot.
That's the right shot. And he's back in line now, just not as close as he would have liked. But players have to accept shots like these when they are playing on equipment that they're not familiar with. Sometimes leaving distance is better than not making the ball. Oh, and the distance has cost him. It's an important thing to be able to accept the position that you have, because if you don't accept the position that you have, it's going to carry into the shot.
Well, Jessica's been given a reprieve here, but she's not been given a penalty kick to restart her attempts to level the game up once more at 4 each. This is going to take some working, this shot. Not just potting the 4, but working out, sorry, the 6, but working out the transition from 6 to 7. And I think she's opted on the side of safety, but she's left Fraser a shot here. Difficult for him to control the cue ball from it, but he's definitely got a poke at this. Jessica was almost caught in 2 minds again, and
he can make this, and I'm not sure if he'll be able to cannon into the 9 off 1 cushion.
If he does
holding
cannon
it
off
for
the
the
9,
7 ball.
he's surely not going to leave himself on, and he's got to pot the 7 first. Well, he's fluked it. There we go again with the flukes. He puts a hand up in acknowledgement.
That was not an easy shot. I've seen 2 balls go into that side pocket, which were both flukes thus far.
Is that the one you'll be aiming for on Thursday?
Yes.
Now, this
Very
is a very
generous side
delicate
pocket
shot.
there.
Very delicate shot. If he's got this right, it's a stroke of genius. If he's got it wrong, as his body language suggests he has, he surely gifted Jessica rack number 8. His body language suggested he'd left this on for her. Wouldn't mind getting the camera angle just behind the 7 there. That might tell us more. Well, Fraser's body language was he'd left this, and that suggests he has.
Looks like he has.
Great camera work by our team there to get you that angle.
She could either play this just off of 1 cushion, which I think would be the right shot, or she can go off 3 cushions with a little bit of right hand side. Let's see what she elects to do. I would try to keep things as simple as possible in times like this.
Trouble is, sometimes you think she's overthinking these shots. She's very methodical, but she does overthink for me sometimes. No harm done there.
That was a good decision there. Keep it simple.
And now she's just got to make sure she doesn't end up square with the 9 off this 8 ball. Is she going to go up and down here, or is she just going to try and...
If she makes this 8 ball too thin, she could even scratch in that corner pocket there. So she has to make sure she avoids that.
Now, she's had problems with the pace at times of this table, Here's going to be the acid test. Can she get prime position off this 8 to the right middle? All eyes on the cue ball here. We know the 8's going down. Where's the cue ball going to finish up? And there
Pretty close to the side pocket.
is not a million miles away from the side pocket or indeed the side rail. So lots of distance here between 9 and object. 9 ball and cue ball.
She just has to hold her composure
This is
and
where the
deliver the
palms
shot.
get sweaty. Can she finish this off? Are we going to be square at 4 each? She thinks again. She's not afraid to pull back, compose herself. Big shot this. Difference between 4 all or 3-5. And we're all square again. Well, Fraser Leow has had chances to draw away from Jessica Tan twice, and twice has spurned them. He's thrown away a 3-1 lead. He had a chance for 5-3, and now it's 4 each. And would you like to name the winner of this one now, Sharik?
I don't think I can decide who the winner is going to be. I think this is going to go hill as well. It's going to be 6-6. What do you think?
I wouldn't like to call it either, to be honest, because I suppose, having seen the first game ebb and flow, maybe we are going to go the distance again. And we are going to go the distance in this fantastic One Play Sports and Cuesports Singapore 9-ball Invitational Matchup 2020. We start tonight with our 2 pre-qualifiers. Congratulations to William and commiserations to Nicholas Tan. We'll see more of the youngster in the future. 18-year-old Nicholas Tan dumped out in dramatic circumstances by William Ang 7 racks to 6. William Ang through to take on Alucius Yap in our first quarter-final tomorrow. The winner of the match currently in progress, bidding for the right to take on Han Chiao Liang in the fourth quarter-final on Friday. Currently in action, it's Fraser Leow against Jessica Tan, the Golden Girl. And the man to my left in the commentary box, Sharik Saeed. You'll see him in action against Steve Fong on Thursday, 9 p.m. Singapore time start. That's GMT +8. We're all square now. It's a race to 3. 4 each, Fraser Leow. Off the break. Sees off the 1. The 1 went down there,
The 1
didn't it?
went down this time.
Yeah, so that's a rare occurrence in the matches today with the 1 going down. It's joined by the 6. All the eyes on now as to what kind of shot he's got on the 2. And the answer is one of those cheeky ones that's by no means straightforward.
Yes, looks like he's going for his extension or the rest. And I think he's going to look for a safety on this shot. It's not going to be easy to make the 2 ball and control it for the 3.
Just to point out, the players not sharing equipment. They've both got their own individual rests in this match, with all the safety precautions being taken to make this event COVID safe. My oh my.
Oh, great shot by Fraser.
That was sensational. Mind you, having said it was sensational, it was a little bit risky because, bearing in mind with the cue balls finished up, he would have left it if he'd missed it, most likely. As it is, he won't be worried about that now. He'll be thinking, how can I send this 3 ball the same way where I sent the 2? And that's down the pocket. Opposite pocket, he does just that. And this game, you boys make it look so easy at times. What looked like a very tricky opportunity has given him prime position here to re-establish that 1 rack break.
Right. He made the bank on the 2 ball look easy. I did not even see the shot, but he played it really well. He's deciding whether to play it in the side pocket or the corner. Looks like he's going for the side pocket. You don't want to land up too straight on this ball. Nice
Judged
angle
his
there.
side perfectly there, didn't he? Just got enough of an angle to come back out for the 8. Can take nothing for granted. It's much easier watching it here than it is playing out there. But Fraser, one thing he has done is he's shown he can recover from adversity, as has Jessica, to be fair, because on the balance of play, you'd argue that Fraser could be having these next 2 balls for the match if other things had gone his way, but Jessica Tan has hung tough, but she's now going to have to win.
3 games from here.
Yeah, 3 of the last 5.
That was a good run out by Fraser. Great bank shot to open things up and making it simple for himself.
Really was impressive. I thought for a minute Fraser might have asked for a timeout there, but he did not, I don't think. Or did he?
Yes, he did.
Yes, Fraser did ask for the timeout. I thought that was coming. Jessica Tan will also take that opportunity to get a breather. Interesting that the man that just hit the front takes the timeout. Do you think that's maybe him being wary of the fact he's hit the front a couple of times in the last 20 minutes and then giving up the lead straight away, maybe just composing himself now to hammer home this advantage in the frames and racks that remain?
I think that's what he's trying to do. He's just trying to clear his mind and, get ready to give his 100% in the next, 2 games that he needs to win.
It'll be interesting to see, though, whether he takes up the full 7 minutes, because if you're in his position, you'll probably go out of the arena now, maybe take a comfort break, have a sip of water, deep breath and think, well, come on then, I've taken the break, I've gathered my thoughts, let's get back in there and finish this off. And, of course, even after this, Jessica will have a timeout at her disposal as well. I think in the first match, we noticed that Nicholas Tan didn't take his timeout. Now, was that a sign of inexperience, or was that just because it was one of those games where he probably thought he was going to win all the way until the last rack?
Yes, I think that is a sign of inexperience. I think it would have been a good strategy to use his timeout at like 6-4 or even 6-5. But he chose to just stay in the arena and try to hold himself together. But I guess things did not work out for him.
We're in timeout mode. Don't forget dual language commentary available. Indonesia and Bahasa on One Play Sports Indonesia. Join Tava and our team over there, bringing you live Indonesian language coverage of this event this week. This is our second and final match of the night. It's finally poised as well, with Fraser leading by 5 racks to 4. But we're back with you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Singapore time, GMT +8. The number 1, the big boy, the one they all want to try and beat, Aliusius Yap, will play the winner of our first match tonight, William Ang. That is tomorrow in a race to 7. God, I'm jealous of Aliusius Yap's hair. It's majestic, isn't it? He's got a great head of hair. And William Ang, by the way, he's like the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer of 9-ball pool. He's the babyface assassin. 2003 SEA Games. What were you doing in 2003? You were probably still in short trousers, weren't you, Sharik?
Yes, I hadn't even started playing pool in 2003.
Exactly, and there was at that time William winning SEA Games medals. Is he going to make it an Indian summer for his 9-ball career?
Jessica has to use this time out wisely to clear her mind and come back more confident. Her body language suggested that, she was a little disappointed with the way the match went. So hopefully she can recover.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how long they take. And remind me, Fraser's called this timeout. If he opts not to take the full 7 minutes, does Jessica still get 7 minutes if she so wishes?
Yes.
So it's basically a 7 minute. If they both back before the 7 minutes is up, we play on. But if not, either one of them can come back right on 7 minutes.
Yes, that's right.
And what's the leeway and grace you're given in terms of frame or rack forfeiture?
So if you exceed the time limit, I think you forfeit 1 game.
1 rack. And again, excuse my, obviously I'm from a snooker
1
background, as you can tell. I say frame. Is that sacrilege to call a rack a frame in 9-ball? Do people look down
I wouldn't
their
say
nose
that
at
for
you?
you because, you haven't commentated for pool that much, or you're not around pool as much as I am.
Yeah.
But if I say frame, that would be a mistake for me.
Really? You wouldn't be allowed back in the club? You're obviously part of the setup at the Elite Centre in Kelang. How many athletes, male and female, and all age groups are there at the moment practicing during COVID? Has it been tough to get table time? Because presumably there was a long period of time you weren't allowed in the building at all.
Yes. So right now, actually, there's 16 male players, 2 juniors, and 8 female players. That's just for pool. And we are operating at 25% capacity. So we only have about 5 tables to share among all the players. And each one has to fulfill a minimum of 10 hours. And the carded athletes have to fulfill 36 hours of training. So it's not easy managing them.
There's a look at the prize fund, 2,300 Singapore dollars. We can see Fraser Leow just making his way back into the arena as he walks past our commentary position, which is 50 yards away for COVID-19 safety measures from the main table. Quarterfinals races to 7, as are today's pre-quarterfinal qualifiers. Semi-finals on Saturday will be a race tonight. Looking forward to that one. I hope you're playing rather than sat next to me, Sharik. I'm sure you do as well.
Oh, yes.
Saturday's race to 9 semi-finals. We start 8 p.m. on Saturday and then the final race to 11. Both players back in the arena and trailing by 1. Jessica Tan. Let's not forget this matchup is now back on serve effectively.
Oh, yes.
So
If
Jessica Tan, as she does, she seems to be a much more thorough inspector of racks than any of the players we've seen so far tonight.
Yes, she's meticulous and methodical, like I said earlier.
Yes.
But that helps her, so that's a strategy.
All eyes on the 1. I'm becoming hypnotised by the 1 off the break here. We've had a very mixed bag of breaks so far from both these players. We've had fouls off the break, we've had mistakes off the break, and we've got a ball down here, and the 8 is going to beat her up badly.
And if I'm not wrong,
It's a
that's an
3-point.
illegal break.
An illegal break, was that
So
because...
Fraser is going to give the control of the table back to Jessica, since he can't see the first ball.
Now,
because-
run me through the various ways. We saw the 3-point rule, was it, for the illegal break earlier? And was that a similar transgression, or was it a different? Let's have a look.
Yes, this is the same rule, 3-point rule in effect. So you can see she made the wing ball, but no other ball, only one other ball went past the head string. So that's why it's an illegal
And is that a
break.
cue power issue? Is it just bad luck? Is it just not getting the right connection?
It could be there might be some really tiny gaps in the rack, or it could be that she didn't break it hard enough.
Now he's put her back in there, but she did still have the option to push out, which is what she's done.
Yes. So in the illegal break situation, Fraser does not have the option to push out unless it's a dry break.
And now from the push out, he's done what he's entitled to do, is put Jessica, who made the push out, back in. And now, obviously, the idea of a push out is to push out to a shot that you fancy, but your opponent doesn't. I'm not entirely sure Jessica fancies this.
Yes.
She certainly can't see it full ball. Can she see it quarter ball?
I don't fancy this push out unless Jessica can see enough of the ball to play a good safety.
Well, she's got a good cue ball here, and the object ball's gone well as well. That couldn't have gone much better for her. She's obviously given him a shot here, but she got away with it there. She battled her way out of that tricky situation of the illegal break.
Yes, that worked out pretty good for her. She left Fraser a long shot, but it seems like he can't attack on this one, so he'll have to go look for cover. There are no other tables at the venue. It's just that we are pretty close to the actual table.
Yes,
That's why you might be hearing sounds of the break.
Yeah, if you're picking up those audios, that's because obviously the acoustics. We're in a large building here that's very empty. Not many people in here, well, not many people in here at all, really, other than the players, the necessary officials, Sharika, myself, and a small number of production crew bringing you this live coverage on One Play Sports. What's the transition on 1 to 2 like from Jessica? Body language usually tells the story, even if we don't get to see the table layout first. And the fact she's chalking quickly and having a look round, she seems relatively happy with it, though, from that angle. What is she going to play here, Sharik?
Oh, she's going for the combination shot. This is a really difficult shot.
This is high
Because
risk,
of
isn't
the
it? There's a
distance.
huge gap between cue ball and first object ball and second object ball.
Yes, and the first object ball to the second object ball. This is a very tough shot.
This
that
will be
she's
something if
taking
she
on.
can pull it off. Or did
Oh,
she miss
she
cue or
was
did she
going
go
for the
for that? What did she
safety.
do?
I think she was going for the safety, to be honest.
Well, that's
And-
the worst safety shot we've seen played tonight, I think.
I think the problem was that the 2 ball clipped the 7 on the way back. She was actually right behind the 7, but I didn't think she saw the contact. She didn't expect the contact on the 7.
Well, can Fraser punish what at this stage may well be a fatal mistake for Jessica? 5-all, it's anyone's matchup. If she ends up going 6-4 down here, Fraser only needs to win 1, and Jessica will need to win all remaining 3 racks, possible 3 racks. Still not home and dry in this rack, though. As the 4 to 5. She's got to hold for the 6 here.
Fraser can get to the hill if he wins this rack.
Matt Luther Cook says hi, Sharik Syed.
Hello, Matt.
Another one of your friends, Matt Luther Cook?
Thank you for tuning in, to all of you.
Is that one of your friends from the States listening in?
Matt, I think he's my friend from Singapore.
From Singapore. Great to see so many Singaporeans, people watching all around the world here on One Play Sports, as Fraser Leow is edging closer to another 2-rack break, and the need then to only win one more rack to win. Needs to be careful about the contact or any contact with the 9 here. Managed to avoid that. He's got a very delicate touch, Fraser, hasn't he?
Yes, he's got good control of the cue ball.
Doesn't want to be straight on this. Is he going to have enough of an angle to...
Looks like he's going to play this off 3 cushions. He's going to put a bit of left-hand side and just roll this ball. I expect him to play this off 3 cushions at least. 1, 2, 3.
Look at that,
Right
Sharik.
there.
That's why we pay you the big bucks, buddy. You know your onions. You know your cushions.
Thank you, Patrick.
Wow.
And he can either elect to play a soft, backspin shot or stun it back off 1 cushion.
Oh, lovely. That's perfect, isn't it?
Yes, things are looking good for him to go 6-4.
So Fraser Leow, this to go 1 rack from victory and a date with the number 2 seed on Friday. Tolian Han.
So
And he sinks it no fuss at all. So Fraser Leow within 1 from victory.
there are no spectators in this arena. It's only the staff and the players.
Yes, sorry about that, Derek. No spectators, obviously, with COVID-19. Hopefully, I'm sure in the future, we've already been speaking to Chris Chua about making exciting plans. Let's make a success of this tournament first, and obviously give everyone the live sport they've been craving and live Cuesports they've been craving post-COVID. And then hopefully down the track, the world is our oyster to an extent. It'll be a long time before the snooker tour is able to travel back to China. Singapore rightly holds a pristine reputation around the world, so there's nothing to stop us looking at bigger events in the future. But let's all pull together, as everyone has, both in Cuesports Singapore and One Play Sports, to make this event an unqualified success. And on the evidence of the first night's action, it's going to be. Still getting over the drama of William Ang and Nicholas Tan's 13-rack thriller, the first match of the night, and this one could still very well go to 13 racks. It's going to at least 11th. It's the 11th rack, and with the ball in his hand to start the 11th rack off, all he needs to do is pot that 9 ball before Jessica in this rack, and Fraser Leow will be through to take on Tan Lian Han.
He's going to try to make sure he gets to see the 1.
Well, the 1 is going to bounce, I think, a little bit too far. Again, his body language always gives the game away, doesn't it, Fraser Leow? He's not one to hide his emotions very well. He managed to lose 2 balls on the break, but he also managed to leave that cue ball tight on that top rail. And the 1, there's no obvious shot. Is there a shot here off this 7 into the middle pocket, maybe?
I think it can go directly. He wouldn't even have to use the 7, but it's a difficult shot. I don't think he was going to go for it.
He glanced the 7 there en route to what he envisaged his best option was for a safety, and it is a good safety, this.
Yes.
Because she's limited to what she can do on the right-hand side of the table as we look at it because of the position of that 7. She's got a shot off 1 cushion there, but you're really having to, not hit and hope here, but you're really going to have to hit this with pace. If you roll up to it, you could just leave an absolute dolly.
But right now, I think her focus should be to just make contact. She does not want to give up ball in hand.
She ideally
right
wants to bring this off 2 cushions, doesn't she, and try and keep the cue ball at the bottom end of the table and send the 1 up, or is that a bit too optimistic? It's a bit too optimistic.
That was a little unlucky there, I would say.
And she's going to give, with a look of resignation on her face, Fraser Leow, who recovered well from that unfortunate break, cue ball in hand. And you have to say, I mean, the trouble is, we say this early on in every rack, don't we? You struggle to see where it's going to break down, but you soon find a way to break it down, don't you? It's so much easier watching it here.
Fraser's the type of player that wears his emotions on his sleeve,
I've noticed that.
so you can always see what he's thinking and feeling.
I will be. A couple of you have been asking if we're going to be interviewing the players afterwards. I did speak to William Ang. It was a great chat after his win against Nicholas Tan, and I will be speaking to the winner of this matchup, which at the moment is looking like it's going to be Fraser. He's essentially here now, barring any plants, 5 shots from victory. Jessica's been very competitive here, and she's recovered well twice. She recovered from a 3-1 deficit for 3-3, recovered from 4-3 to 4-all, recovered from 5-4 to 5-all, but the reality is she's never managed to stick her head in front, has she? And that's been the test. Fraser's always seemed to have this under control.
Fraser played a smart shot on the 1 ball. You know, he elected to play safe, and that earned him the ball in hand and probably the match.
Jessica can only sit and watch.
She had her chances.
She did. I mean, she's had chances in all but, I think, 2 of the racks in this matchup. It's been competitive 9-ball. It's been great to see, and I think it's only going to get better. Can't wait to see what William can do against Aloysius tomorrow night. That's going to be a cracker at 9 p.m. Singapore time, GMT +8. Join Sharik and myself for that.
I'm excited for that match too.
You really will be looking forward
The
to it.
Pirate and the Golden Boy. Looks like it's going to be
the best part of an hour and change. Fraser Leow has this 9-ball pot to take the match by 7 racks to 4 and send Jessica Tan crashing out of the one-play Cuesports Singapore 9-ball Invitational matchup 2020. They both touch elbows, as does our referee. Shout out to Alex Lim and Stephen Ng, our referee there, who've done great jobs tonight. It's Fraser Leow who books that date with the number 2 seed on Friday night. He's got quite a long time to wait, hasn't he? Because William Ang, who won our first match, gets to play tomorrow night. And To Liang Han takes on Fraser Leow on Friday.
It gives him a good opportunity to practice more and get prepared to play To Liang Han, because that's no easy customer. You have to be on your best game to beat that guy.
Well, Sharik, it's been a delight joining you on commentary for the first time as we get to see the final ball of the night be potted. You're looking forward, like me, to tomorrow night. What's been your highlight of the first night's action here and the one-play Cuesports Invitational matchup?
Well, I think the highlight would have been the turnaround by William in that first match. You know, I didn't expect Nicholas to lose when he was up 6-3. So, you know, congratulations to William, and lesson learned for Nicholas.
The Pirate pinched the Young Guns' pocket in our first match, and Our Lady fell just short against Fraser Leow in our second. So confirmation, Fraser Leow through to take on To Liang Han in Friday's quarter-final. Tomorrow night it's Aloysius Yap against William Ang. Desmond Go and David Ballard. David is going to join me in commentary, I believe, on Thursday when you're playing. Looking forward to that. We'll see David in action on Wednesday. And Steve Fong is up against Sharik on Thursday. I'll say goodnight to you now, Sharik. Many thanks for joining us, and I look forward to having you in the commentary box.
Thank you,
Goodbye
Patrick.
from Sharik, and I'm going to head over to have a chat with Fraser. With Fraser Leow, who's come through quite a titanic tussle in the end against Jessica Tan by 6 racks to 4. She wouldn't go away, would she? You opened up that 2-rack lead early, and then she battled back to 3-3. You led 4-3, 4-4, 5-4, 5-5. You just wanted to put that game to bed because she just wouldn't go away.
Yeah, I was lucky that I was able to take my own racks, the racks that I broke. And I realized that I have been losing racks that she broke. So at 5-4, I took a timeout and to tell myself that I have to definitely take one of the racks that she broke.
What I will say, I think you've produced the best safety play we've seen so far tonight on day one. That's obviously a strength of your game. You played really intelligent 9-ball, particularly in those latter frames where I think you'd learnt your lesson from maybe trying to finish it off too quickly, and you thought, I'm just going to grind this out and make sure I book my spot in the quarter-final.
Yeah, Jessica is definitely a very good shot maker. So I figured out that in order to really finish the game, I have to incorporate a little bit of safety into my game to tackle this strength of hers.
So that's job done. Tolian Han, and you've of course got quite a long wait. Your match is now on Friday, your quarter final. Taking on the number 2 seed, you confident you got the game to see him off on Friday?
Actually, I haven't been practicing as much as I would like, but I will definitely put in some more time on the table before facing Tolian Han.
I should expect nothing less from you, Fraser. And a quick word on this event and these conditions. You've been enjoying it so far. Great for the players to be back with live sport on One Play Sports after such a long break, and everyone's got a smile on their face. It's good to be back, isn't it?
Yeah, I definitely love the arena here. It's a great atmosphere, and great credit to all those people who make this possible.
Yeah, President Chris Chua, of course, the team here at One Play Sports, and Lily. It's been great to bring everyone together. So that does us for day one. Many thanks to you, Fraser. Just bear with me 1 second while we sign off for the end of the first night's play in the One Play Cuesports Singapore Invitational Matchup 2020. It's been an absolute blast, and the good news is, one night down, there's still 6 to go. Tomorrow night, our winner of our first match tonight, William Ang, takes on the number 1 seed. Everyone wants to find out what kind of form Aliusha Yap is in, the 9-ball superstar of Singapore, and we'll see him in action tomorrow. From all the team here, from Sharik, my co-commentator, the great people at One Play Sports who's made it happen, Chris Chua and Lily from Cuesports Singapore, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow back live on One Play Sports. Note the later start time, 9 p.m. Singapore time, GMT +8 tomorrow.
We start each day with high hopes. We meet people, sharing rides with them. People who build their lives around family, around their children's future. People who rely on others to give them a helping hand. And those who cherish quality time with loved ones. And like everyone else, we find comfort in people we trust. People who understand our needs and raise us above all expectations. People who share our dreams.